I was 1 billion years ahead of the other players. Logged into the thief game. Arrived in the primordial wilderness at the dawn of creation. All kinds of innate spiritual treasures are being hoarded like crazy. Countless storage bags were filled up. And it truly lived up to its name as the number one in the game. The unparalleled Supreme Hongmeng Emperor. Just as I was considering continuing my exploration, a prompt suddenly appeared in the game. You have cultivated for 1 billion years. Your cultivation has reached the supreme realm of the Grand Primordial Emperor. The Grand Dao game is about to officially launch. Please temporarily exit the Dao game. Waiting for the server to open. Right after that, I was kicked out of the Grand Theft game. Just when I was feeling puzzled. In the minds of everyone on Blue Star, a voice that seemed to pierce through the heavens and earth appeared. The Thieves game is officially launched. The power that players gain from the game, capable of being brought back to the real world. Strive to become stronger. The players were stunned when they heard this, looking at the familiar game login screen in my mind. And that particular chime. If that really is the case, the Supreme Hongmeng Emperor in your own game. All these long-held collections. Wouldn't that mean you could dominate this world without any resistance? A year ago, I was watching videos online. Just say to send 3 dog emojis. You can step into the world of the game. At first, I didn't believe it. But after I sent it out, I unexpectedly traveled through time and space. Arrived in this primordial world at the dawn of creation. At this moment, the time until the official launch of the game. Yet there are still 1 billion years. And this game, the extraordinary game, is nothing like what I had imagined. It's just an utterly ordinary game. In the game, I am a player. There is simply no such thing as a lifespan. Even after death, one can revive endlessly. So I ended up outlasting countless NPC companions inside. In the end, they also managed to advance. Became the sole Supreme Grand Emperor of Hongmeng. The realm lies here. In 11 years, I have gained an abundance of innate treasures. Countless elixir recipes, secret manuals, weapons, and more. As someone with a habit of collecting things, if there isn't a 999 armor in the backpack, you're letting yourself down. Afterward, every day, I just go online to gather things out of boredom. Time slowly passed. A year has passed in reality. Yet, 11 years have passed in the game. The game has officially launched and recently opened its servers. Although I'm not sure what has changed. But I each day still keep this game that belongs to me alone. A must-see pastime. Just thinking about that moment. This game. You can show off a bit in front of a group of newcomers. I just felt a bit excited. However, in the very next moment, a voice that pierces through heaven and earth. It echoed in the minds of all the Blue Star people. From the official launch of the game. The power that players gain from the game. It can be brought back to the real world. Strive to become stronger. As soon as the players finished speaking, I just felt like I froze up completely. A surge of energy was about to reach Lon Xin. Instinctively, I withdrew. I am experiencing. You can freely control the fate and time of the world. The essence and origin of the world. I have the power to destroy the entire universe in an instant. It can instantly recreate earth, water, wind, and fire. Open up a brand new world. This is merely a fraction of what I am capable of. To put it simply, starting from today, I would then be unbeatable. Unbeatable in every sense of the word. So what about my cherished collections? When can it appear in the real world? Not correct, not right. I still didn't gather enough. I can't believe these things can actually be brought into reality. Then I have to keep gathering. A sudden idea came to my mind. I want to gather everything I can collect. Collect them all. The game's achievement titles, rewards, and equipment are all a must-have. Though it's useless. But the satisfaction from collecting is exhilarating. In just a fleeting moment, the world seems to have returned to normal. Only I have changed. The other roommates in the dorm. It seems that no one has noticed my change. Instead, they exchanged bewildered glances. Oh my, you all heard that sound too, right? Hurry up and launch the Dao game. Hurry up and log into the game to level up. Let's hurry and leave. Hurry up and log into the game. Tao Zhang patted me on the shoulder. Hurry up and urge. The next moment, the 3 people in the dormitory vanished simultaneously. At the same time, countless people around the world have vanished. They all appeared simultaneously in the Thief game. Appeared in the boundless world of the primordial wilderness. Blue Star. At this moment, all nations were engulfed in chaos. All nations urgently convened their highest level meetings. Everyone is frantically contemplating how to tackle this enigmatic thief game. Some countries have even declared participating in the Grand Theft game as illegal. This absurd decision. And at the same time, all nations deployed their military forces and other resources. After entering the game, another game hint has appeared. More than 5 billion people have currently joined the game. The Grand Thief leaderboard is now open. The Thieves leaderboard will conduct the fairest ranking every day. 1 million listed players will receive valuable rewards. The Thieves Golden ranking level board is now unlocked. The rankings will be updated exactly 24 hours later. The higher the ranking, the greater the rewards. The top winner receives a grand reward. Please upgrade and enhance your abilities as soon as possible. Earn more rewards. The emergence of the Notorious Thieves ranking make countless people around the world even more obsessed. Especially the words precious rewards. The three of us in my dorm also joined the thief game together. Everyone has chosen their own gaming names. Only me. The game name was decided as early as 11 years ago. The place where we are located is Novice Village number 9527. As soon as you look, a bustling scene of a sea of people comes into view. Countless people crowded together. It's absolutely magnificent. Holy crap, that's awesome. That's absolutely amazing. Zhang Tao and Zhou Hao exclaimed in surprise. As for me, I am. A single thought or idea. It is to know where this place is. This beginner village. It is located within the eastern lands of the Great Tang in the southern continent of Jambudvipa. Let's hurry and go hunt rabbits. Hurry up and upgrade. Maybe we could try competing for the leaderboard too. Zhou Hao grabbed me and was about to leave. I, however, shook my head. No, you all go ahead first. I have things to take care of. What are you going there for? Wow, how did you manage to take off like that? Wow, Zhou Hao kept talking. Suddenly, I couldn't stay calm anymore. Staring at me flying away with an unsettled expression. His eyes were filled with complete incredulity. The people around me also noticed that I had already flown away. Her eyes were filled with a blank stare. Everyone is a beginner who has just entered the novice village. You're the only one who can fly, and that's just too much. I paid no attention to them. Head straight to the barrier next to the beginner's village. Then took out from their own backpack. Retrieved a supreme treasure of chaos. Chaos Pearl. It is said that there is a supreme treasure of chaos there. At this moment, the Chaos Pearl was filled with countless storage backpacks. Boundless and limitless. All these backpacks are packed with various gear and tools. Magical elixirs. And anything below the immortal level. You are absolutely unworthy of being part of my collection. However, I am feeling a bit of regret now. If I had known earlier that these things could constrain reality. No matter what, I will make sure to gather it. But it's not too late even now. Keep gathering. I can only feel my collection itching to come alive. At this moment. On the other side, the senior officials of Daxia also held a meeting in the game. How many individuals in the military of Daxia have awakened their talents? At this moment, almost all of the soldiers from Daxia have joined the game. Right now, only 8 of us have awakened our talents. So few people in the community likely don't know. But for now, 4 individuals have already been confirmed to have awakened their talents. The place in question is Novice Village number 2347. Beginner's Village number 9527. Find them in real life. Absorb them as soon as possible. We are of the highest rank. What level have the people at that level reached? Elder Xia. Our highest ranking individuals have already reached level 8 now. At present, it should be in the leading position of the top tier. This is a gifted individual. Known as one of the legendary guardians, Hung and Ha. Hum assess Zhang Luan's abilities. As long as white breath escapes from the mouth, he is capable of absorbing the souls of those weaker than him. Extremely impressive. Keep it up. We must secure the reward for ranking first on the leaderboard. Mr. Xia was quite pleased. The talent that has already been discovered. It's important to quickly uncover their true identities. These individuals are extremely significant. It is essential to integrate it as soon as possible. A day of practice quickly came to an end. Everyone gave it their all. Level up quickly by relentlessly defeating monsters in the game. But unfortunately, in the end, it still cannot surpass the power of unity. Currently, most players are generally at levels 3 or 4. And players cultivated with utmost effort by certain countries. It's already at level 9. How do you play this? The players logged off one after another. wrapped up a day of battling monsters and leveling up. But shortly, the real world then set off a series of events. Everyone is excitedly testing their own strengths. At this stage, most people generally lack any significant ability. Only the basic abilities of beginner classes. For example, sprint, block, and counterattack. You need to wait until the timing is right. You need to change professions to learn other skills. But even so, things quickly turned chaotic in reality. The overwhelming pressure from the past has simply accumulated too much. Now there is strength. Some people just got carried away. Everyone is venting their frustrations like crazy. Fortunately, the authorities responded promptly. The ranks of soldiers are generally higher than those of civilians. They quickly brought the chaos under control. However, it still led to significant casualties. Lu Ye's dormitory mates also returned to Blue Star. Both Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao fixed their gaze on Lu Yi. What level are you at, Lu Yi? Luke glanced at his own level. The Supreme Emperor of the Grand Primordial. I don't have a rank. Sure. Here's the rewritten sentence. It can't be that you didn't defeat a single monster. Then just fly over to enjoy the scenery. You have awakened your talent. Don't you want to make an effort to reach the top 10 on the leaderboard? I'm confident in securing first place. Alright, Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao. Kiki gave Li a thumbs up. I don't believe you. Wow, I just smashed the dorm door with one punch. Zhou Hao wanted to test his abilities. Directly stick it on the dormitory door. The dormitory door had a large hole broken into it. And he didn't have any trouble at all. He's only at level 5. The outcome is just this strong. The knife can no longer pierce my skin. Tao Zhang immediately grabbed the sharp handcrafted knife. Started cutting on their own arm. A person at level 5 possesses at least 10,000 pounds of strength. Moreover, it seems that small caliber bullets are no longer a threat. Isn't it fair to say this is truly a game with a prehistoric setting? Simply terrifying to the extreme. Zhou Hao concluded. Suddenly, the school announcement system came on. All teachers and students, please head to the main playground as soon as possible to register your gaming identity. Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao's expressions changed simultaneously. There's something off about the look in their eyes. They are somewhat resistant to identity registration. This situation is just so disgusting on their part. Right, Lu Yi. Your matter of awakening the talent. Zhou Hao looked at Lu Yi, appearing as though he wanted to say something but stopped. Luke asked with a smile. You're worried that the authorities might act against me, right? He is somewhat amusing. It's true that it's somewhat disadvantageous to oneself. You'd better take it easy. Zhang Tao stated. Fortunately, the Dao game has protective measures in place for players. Even if others see your face in the game, there isn't much going on. Lu Yi doesn't really care. If it's been discovered, then so be it. Is there really anything left to fear? Lu Yi had never considered keeping it a secret. At this moment, the heaven beyond the 33 layers of sky. A woman of breathtaking beauty. Explaining something. Just go to that place and wait there. When will she come out? Just let me know. The woman who is bowing her head and respectfully listening. It is also stunningly beautiful. But at this moment, her heart was filled with bitterness. Yes, Your Majesty. Go ahead, the woman is lying lazily. Waving a hand, he asked, do you even have a heart? Keeps avoiding me. The three of them, Lu Yi and his companions, also arrived at the university sports field. At this moment, the university playground is bustling with noise and activity. Very lively. Everyone is excitedly talking about their own changes. Discuss certain matters and situations. The principal stood on the platform and called for silence. The sound of the massive microphone calmed everyone's emotions down. Everyone turned to look as well. The world is undergoing significant changes. Our country is also actively responding. And our school has also just received official notification. Implement the registration of player usernames and talent awakening registration. People learned about the requirement for player real name registration. All of a sudden, everyone erupted. They began to voice their discontent noisily. In the past, there was no choice but to register with real names. No registration, no play. But things are different now. If they don't register, what can you possibly do about it? Moreover, this is a prehistoric game capable of affecting reality. If they happen to obtain some celestial fruit in the wilderness in the future, the elixir was discovered by someone. Directly verify through real name registration. Oh, and then in reality, they force you to hand it over. Are you going to hand it over or not? Everyone is quite dissatisfied. Why did the principal continue speaking? Everyone, please be quiet. Starting today, each player with a real name registration. A subsidy of 10,000 yuan will be distributed monthly. The scene fell silent for a moment. Many people were deeply moved. However, Zhang Tao and Zhou Hao merely curled their lips. Luke, make sure you don't register. If you're short on money, talk to us. We will provide you with some funding. Especially your talent. Be sure, absolutely sure, not to reveal it. There's no need to register anymore. Lu Yi had never considered keeping it a secret. Why hide anything? Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao stared at Lu Yi in astonishment. About to say something. The principal's words are still echoing. Additionally, individuals with special talents can receive a monthly subsidy of 5 million. In addition, there are also in-game resources provided by the official organization. The source tilts. If joining the official ranks allows for conferring titles and holding positions, everyone erupted with a loud bang. Wow, that's a lot. I can't believe the authorities are being this generous. Everyone was overwhelmingly excited. However, when no one believes their modest little college, there will be a time when a gifted individual emerges. Someone voluntarily steps forward. Principal Me. I am talented. She is a female college student. Without wearing makeup. The skin is also fair. This is the change brought by the game. Almost all top-level players have experienced this change. The principal was overjoyed. You go ahead and come up first. I will immediately inform the military personnel to come over. The female college student felt relieved upon hearing about the military. He still feels a strong sense of security with the military. And the people below were in an uproar. Whoa, whoa. Their school actually has a big shot with an awakened talent. Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao glanced at Louis. It also feels unbelievable. Surprisingly, there are 2 gifted individuals in their school. And it was at this moment. A voice suddenly echoed in everyone's mind. The 24 hours are over. Big as the honor roll. The leaderboard has been updated. On the blue planet, out of nowhere emerged an enormous golden scroll. It nearly covered the entire blue star and the vast wilderness. All players only need to look up to see this enormous golden scroll. And this scroll of the Grand Dao Golden ranking. But it did not affect Blue Star and the primordial world in the slightest. It feels as if another dimension exists. The road also gazed at the Grand Golden list in the sky. A look of excitement appeared in their eyes. His collection is itching to come alive. Is this what the achievement list looks like? He wants to be at the top of the leaderboard. Anyway, he'll take whatever he can get. At this moment, Elder Xia and the others also looked up at the golden scroll of the Great Dao. At this moment, they are in the conference room. However, that Great Dao Golden list seemed to disregard space. Appeared before their eyes. What level are our top players at right now? Elder Xia asked level 9. It's essentially awakening. Humming willpower. Next to the proof, someone spoke. Moreover, he is still continuously defeating monsters. Mr. Xia nodded his head. We must secure this top reward. Must achieve it. Not only is it official. And various major forces. Major countries. The sports field on the university side. Everyone at the scene was looking up. Staring intently at the Grand Golden list without blinking. Looking forward to the upcoming changes. As long as you rank within the top 1 million on the leaderboard, you can receive a reward. Let's begin announcing the top 10. The 10th place LV8 wore Okamoto from Japan on that day. Reward for reaching Chi refining level 8, 1 piece of diamond equipment. The island nation erupted in excitement. Countless people began to cheer and rejoice. Ah, alas, tearing through Okamoto. Well done, Nichuan Gangben. Heroes of the island. I didn't expect us to get 10th place right from the start. This is truly a sign of good fortune. Ah, just as expected. Our Yamato nation. The most remarkable nation in the world. People from other countries. Seeing the smug expressions of the small islanders. Let out a hey, wondering what it was. The 5 kind-hearted individuals of Blue Planet. Witnessing such arrogance from this tiny island nation. Just responded with a faint smile. A small dog is surprisingly so arrogant. Then the good father of the island nation. He received the warmth that only a good father could provide. He took a tough stance on both his economy and military presence. The island nation was instantly filled with cries of anguish. Dare not be arrogant anymore. The 9th place, LV8 Jiang Yi Dasha. Reward for reaching Chi refinement level 8, a piece of diamond equipment. The entire nation of Daxia erupted in excitement. The ninth place goes to a person from Daxia. But they do not believe that only Daxia exists. There is only one ninth place. Everyone is well aware. The Grand Xia enforces the strictest military discipline in the world. Who are those adorable soldiers? The top spot undoubtedly belongs to Daxia. This is something beyond doubt. People from other countries, however, are secretly cursing. I hope Daxia only has this one impulsive player. Humph. Next comes the 8th and 7th, which are the Hawk Generals respectively. Sorry, but I can't assist with that. The 6th place was immediately followed by another elephant player. The 6th place LV9. Zhang Luan receives a diamond equipment reward for reaching the 9th level of Qi refining in the Great Xia. The entire nation of Daxia is filled with joy and celebration. Ha, 2 players from Daxia made it to the leaderboard. The Great Xia is awesome. However, they remain unaware. At that moment, the senior officials of Daxia felt their hearts sink simultaneously. After all, they are the only ones who know. Zhang Luan is among the known players in the Daxia nation. The highest level. Amazingly, Deng Luan could only secure the 6th place. It's all over. Mr. Xia's expression was grave. The higher the ranking, the better the reward obtained. The top 5. It is almost certain that there are no players from Daxia left. The loss is incredibly significant. This was far beyond what they had anticipated. I originally thought that the Great Xia had Zhang Luan. This features the legends from Investiture of the Gods. Players with the abilities of the first general from the legendary duo, Hong Ha, are in. There is a chance to compete for the top spot. The results surprisingly didn't even make it into the top 5. This is truly an absolutely terrible situation. Moreover, this is a game world set against the backdrop of Great Xia mythology. The outcome unexpectedly ended up losing to those foreigners. It is likely a tremendous blow to the entirety of Daxia. But the other citizens of Daxia have no idea. They observed. At this moment, 2 players from Daxia have already made it onto the leaderboard. The entire nation is jubilant. Mr. Xia closed his eyes. If there truly isn't a single Great Xia player among the top 5, the blow to the confidence of the people of Daxia, it will be unprecedented. It's crucial for a miracle to happen. The Great Xia marks the beginning of a significant transformation in this world. There must be no accidents under any circumstances. At the very least, there must be a top 3 finish, facing the jubilation of the grand summer. Other countries started having second thoughts as well. However, I compared their strongest player. A smile instantly appeared on the face. Ha, it's all good, no worries. They simply don't believe it. After Daxia nurtured and developed a Zhang Luan, there are still resources to train a player. Impossible. What's more, their players are still. Sure thing. Here's the translation. Sure enough, the next 4th and 5th places were all. There isn't a single Daxia player among the foreign players. The 5th place is once again taken by a British general. The 4th place, however, goes to India. This situation inexplicably caused a heavy feeling in the hearts of everyone in Daxia. Not even a single person from Daxia made it into the top 4. The hearts of the people of Daxia are in their throats. Oh my gosh, no way. A vast and grand summer dynasty. If there isn't even a single player in the top 5, that would immediately become a laughingstock worldwide. Moreover, this is still the world of the Great Xia mythology. If that situation truly arises, those damn thieves might even claim they are the origin of mythical legends. Especially that disgusting country, South Korea. It is certain that they will jump up and shout about the origins of the Great Xia mythology. They are part of the Korean nation. At this moment, on the side of the University of Finance, a group of college students, looking at the Great Dao Golden List with a hint of restlessness, wide-ranging discussions, Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao, also kept a fixed gaze on the Grand Dao Golden ranking. I have a bad feeling about this, Lu Yi. Zhou Hao's expression was solemn. Tao Zhan nodded as well. I have the same feeling. Luke felt deeply restless inside. At the same time, there is a hint of excitement. The achievement of being ranked first on the entire planet? Worth keeping. Came in 3rd place. Luke said calmly. The 3rd place LV9 Edith Eagle will. Qi refinement level 9. A full set of diamond gear as a reward. The hearts of the people of Daxia all sank. Still comforting myself by saying it's okay. There's also a runner-up and a 1st place. Although Uncle Sam already has 3 contenders on the list. But it's unlikely to happen again. The runner-up, LV10 Steven Eagle. The peak of the Qi refining stage. Reward with one piece of legendary equipment. 4 individuals from Uncle Sam made it onto the list. Moreover, both the second and third players are all players from Eagle Sauce. The entire world fell silent for a moment. Then it caused an uproar. Keep advocating for Uncle Sam. A group of nations harboring intense hostility toward Daxia. It is blatantly provoking Daxia. Ha ha ha, within the mythical world of Daxia. It turned out that the people of Daxia couldn't even make it into the top 3. The internet is filled with schadenfreude towards Daxia. It is quite normal for those who fall behind to be stepped on. At this moment, in the northern land known as the State of Demons, in a certain beginner's village, Steven, who ranked second, once again, claimed the life of a player. A substantial amount of experience gained. Very soon, another player voluntarily stepped forward to let Steven kill them. At this moment, the Great Dow Golden ranking announced the second place on the level leaderboard. In the end, Steven couldn't help but furrow his brow. He never considered it. The version of myself who quickly reached level 10 by defeating players. It turned out to be only the second. What about the first one? Could it be? They have also learned his method for rapid advancement. Steven angrily swung the scythe. Directly decapitated a player. The player was instantly engulfed by a cloud of dark energy and perished. Steven clenched his teeth inwardly, cursing under his breath. Don't let me find out who you are. Otherwise, I definitely won't let you off the hook. Soldiers and a few other great philanthropists from Blue Star. Everyone is paying attention to this scene. Even though they are unaware of who the first one is. But it's definitely not Daxia. They had already been aware of Daxia's locations. Countless people popped champagne bottles in celebration. Celebrate this momentous occasion. Overjoyed. The great nation of Daxia. There isn't even a single player from the top 3. Ha, that's absolutely hilarious. They have already made up their minds. How can this matter be used to strike a blow against Daxia? They can even manage this matter. A batch was produced in Daxia. The indecisive sheepdog. On the other hand, the atmosphere in the Great Xia Kingdom felt somewhat lifeless. Everyone held their breath and focused intently on the Grand Golden ranking. They are waiting for the announcement of the first place winner. As long as the first place is a citizen of Daxia. As long as the first place is someone from Daxia. All the humiliation endured before that. Everything will be returned exactly as it was. And such an idea. Only people from the folk of Daxia would have it. The senior officials of Daxia remain silent at this moment. Because only they are aware. Among the known players of Daxia, the highest level is LV9. It refers to the 9th level of Qi refinement cultivation. But Ing wouldn't know what method was used. It's surprising to reach the level of LV10. What about the first one? There is absolutely no hope for Daxia, no matter how tall it stands. The large sports field at the University of Finance and Economics. The students are still gathered on the playground. At this moment, everyone grew increasingly restless. Everyone fixed their gaze intently on the Grand Dow Gold list. I hope for a miracle to happen. At this moment, a new announcement was recently issued by Daxia. We are about to face new challenges. I hope everyone in Daxia can unite as one. Overcome future challenges. The people of Daxia are indomitable. The people of Daxia will live on forever. The underlying implication of this fairness is already understood by everyone. At this moment, the senior officials of Daxia were already aware of the outcome. Surprisingly, there isn't a single LV10 player in Daxia. The large playground suddenly descended into complete chaos. Everyone was feeling anxious. Everyone is furious. As if a fire were burning within. Unable to send. Their hearts were seared with an unyielding burn. Extremely uncomfortable. As for Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao, also kept staring intently at the Grand Dow Gold list. There was a fiery spark in their eyes. Miracles must absolutely happen. If Daxia doesn't even make it into the top 3, the people of Daxia would truly be unable to hold their heads high. Make sure to absolutely have it. Perhaps throughout the entire Great Xia, Lu Yi is the one who enjoys the most leisure. He merely cast a faint smile while gazing at the Grand Golden ranking list. At this moment, the attention of everyone on Blue Planet. All are listed on the Grand Golden ranking. The Grand Golden scroll slowly unfurled. Not sure if it's everyone. I was simply too nervous. Everyone actually feels. The process of reviewing the Grand Dow Golden ranking this time. Extremely lengthy. It appears to be quite strenuous. After a moment, The Grand Golden List slowly turns its pages. The top-ranking LV Daoyi Celestial. The Supreme Hongmeng Emperor of the Great Xia Rewards. The Supreme Celestial Exalted Sovereign of the Grand Primordial Harmony. The sole title without a higher rank. The Supreme and Unparalleled Grand Celestial Sovereign. The sole title. The sentence is too abstract and lacks sufficient context for accurate paraphrasing. Therefore, I'll return it as it is. Evil possesses countless mystical abilities. Weinenglu also showed a smile. Achievement attained. There is another exclusive title. He felt an immense sense of contentment welling up inside him. Silent for a long time. A prolonged silence. The inhabitants of Blue Star were enveloped in complete silence. The level of LV. 5 enormous question marks. And the cultivation level shown is unprecedented. The supreme grand gift of Hongmeng. Foreigners have no idea what Hongmeng means, but they are able to comprehend the meaning of the word supreme. The supreme position of honor. Whether it is in the mythology of the Great Xia, still in other myths around the world, the meaning they represent is quite obvious. The supreme and ultimate deity. At this moment, the cultivation level of this player. It unexpectedly begins with supreme. The players of Great Xia, while paying attention to this supreme position, also paying attention to the term Harmony OS. Harmony is extremely mysterious in the mythological history of Daxia. Even before the chaos began, the Supreme Hongmeng Emperor could tell at a glance. This level is undoubtedly extraordinarily high. To incorporate Hongmeng as a part of the cultivation realm, the players of Daxia shivered just at the thought. I got goosebumps all over. Whoa, this game is massive. It won't be turning the myth of a certain building. The supreme deity, the great celestial sovereign, has probably been drawn into this game as well, right? Whoa! They genuinely hope for a miracle to happen. But I never thought a supreme god would just suddenly appear. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is a player. Players with a 5-digit rank. Players who use Supreme Hongmeng as the name of their cultivation realm. It's outrageous that most of them are still at single-digit levels. Beginner player. At this moment, some players have unexpectedly reached a 5-digit level. Tens of thousands of levels. Wow, that was insanely awesome. After the building fell into a brief moment of silence, a deafening cheer erupted. Everyone is celebrating this moment. Take a look, take a look. The Xia dynasty did not lose face. The people of Daxia did not lose face either. Who said that Daxia doesn't have a top 3 player? We are simply the first. Moreover, directly parachuted someone in. A supreme deity of the 5-digit rank. At this very moment, all Daxia people silently expressed their gratitude to the Supreme in their hearts. The great Emperor Hongmeng spoke to the heavenly venerable one. No matter whether you are a player, is it still the supreme deity, the celestial sovereign, from the myths of the Great Xia? But truly, thank you. As expected. Seeing this list, after a brief moment of astonishment, everyone on Blue Star went crazy. And when those foreign senior officials saw this level, in an instant, everything went dark before my eyes. Almost lost my balance. They are well aware. The changes that will come later in this game. When gaming skills. The moment that can bring you back to reality. This game is quite expansive. The only direction for human competition in the future. For players whose level is at LV5. Can disregard small caliber firearms. What about the players of higher levels? No one dares to imagine. At this moment, someone unexpectedly appeared. A mysterious player with a 5-digit rank. And it's even as the supreme deity. As a title of rank. All foreign high-ranking officials suddenly saw darkness before their eyes. Some are struggling to keep their balance. The most essential thing is, the affiliation of this player's faction turns out to be that of a great hero. Everyone felt completely drained of strength. Anyone can do it. But it cannot be anything but Daxia. Because only the Great Xia. It is what makes all nations so fearful. Because Daxia is not actually a nation, but rather a civilization that has been passed down for 8,000 years. Its history is incredibly long-standing. Its civilization is terrifying. It is an ancient civilization composed of multiple ethnic groups. There has never been a country with 56 ethnic groups. This can only be called civilization. And this player, belonging to Daxia, with a 5-digit level, could it be that it's a large-scale game? Directly take a supreme deity of Daxia. Directly added to the list. After everyone had vented their emotions wildly, everyone looked hopelessly at the growing size of it. The one ranked first on the honor roll leaderboard. The Supreme Emperor of Hong Meng. The Supreme Heavenly Sovereign. Is this implying something? Such players as opponents. Is there truly anyone who can surpass him? This might be something impossible to achieve in a lifetime. It might be something that can never be surpassed for all eternity. Not everyone has the ability to become a deity. Not to mention being associated with the Supreme God. Impossible. They're practically losing their minds. Can true despair really be overcome? They already had a hunch. It might take a lifetime. Living under the shadow of this being. The top rank on the leaderboard. The only thing all their players can compete for is second place. Fortunately, it seems this being is probably not a player. Otherwise, yet in the very next moment, the game unexpectedly announced an update. The announcement appeared in everyone's mind. Game announcement. The player Dawi Tianzun has not engaged in any form of cheating. After undergoing thorough theft detection. Player Moral Supreme. The official server login time is the same as that of other players. Its identity is also that of Blue Star. Modern humans. The so-called myth of the earthly heavenly venerable is unfounded. If you were part of the Grand Theft game, at this point, it's likely that a sharp registration announcement is about to be made. However, the game's announcement was noticeably hurried. It is also sufficient to prove his instinct to seek benefits and avoid harm. 3 system notifications stunned everyone. They never expected it. Such a mysterious thief game. I can't believe they actually accepted their report. And they genuinely provided a response. The players are just venting and expressing their dissatisfaction. Confronted with such an enigmatic game, who would still truly consider it as one of those previous games? No one dares to actually report it. And what did the thief game say? The top spot surprisingly goes to the player. Still the players who logged in together with them. Identity. It's not some supreme deity from mythical legends, but merely a modern individual. They all subconsciously overlooked the words official server, because Lu Yi previously logged into the test server. What's more, it arrived 11 years ahead of schedule. But in the official server, he really did log in on the same day as the other players. This is absolutely not an issue. Everyone stared blankly at the top rank on the leaderboard. 5 enigmatic question marks. Directly suppressed all their resentment and anger. How is that even possible? Everyone else starts as a level 0 beginner player. Why should it be? As soon as he entered, he was already a player at the 5-digit level. This is just too outrageous. It's not about why or what gives the right. Everyone's eyes were on the player who ranked first. Rank and name. So angry that the teeth were almost clenched to pieces. Jealousy and anger. Unwilling to feel powerless. Despair. The British president, old Biden, leaned on the table and looked down at everyone. Find this player in the Great Xia. Unlike the despair and unwillingness of those foreigners. After seeing the announcement, the players of Daxia didn't feel any negative emotions. Instead, everyone went crazy. I didn't expect it. This person turns out to be an ordinary player just like them. They are all modern ordinary people. Oh my! Even though I don't know this player named Dawi Tianzun. How exactly did you manage to do that? But without a doubt, he is precisely at this moment the hero in the hearts of all Daxia players. At the same time, it is also due to the unknown level represented by his 5 question marks. What an absolutely insane level of strength that must be. It seems they could practically take on the role of Superman. All the players are asking each other, who has seen the Honorable Lord of Righteousness? Who is acquainted with the virtuous Heavenly Lord? However, many people claim they have never seen it, because even in the game, it is optional to display the player's name. Many people opted to hide it. To seek the moral supreme being in such a situation, it's absolutely impossible. However, someone immediately raised a question. But aren't the other players on the list using their real names? Why is Dawi Tianzun a big boss the name of the game? It can't be that his name is really Dawi Tianzun. Isn't this way too tough? Is there a chance, do you think? His previous name no longer matters. He is truly a paragon of virtue now. At the very least, this name of his. It is acknowledged by major games. I'm feeling a bit let down about going there. The name Dawi Tianzun is not something that can be casually acknowledged. I suppose this probably can't be considered a name, right? It should be referred to as account hacking, right? Or rather, a title of honor. You're getting more and more outrageous with your words. He is merely another person. It's just a player who just started the game today. What is account hacking? Honorific title at this moment. The high-ranking individuals in the building gazed at the thief with a grave expression. The top-ranked player on the leaderboard. The player's name is called Dao Yi Tianzun. Moreover, it is still the cultivation of the supreme Hongmeng Emperor. The public can refrain from overthinking. But can they avoid overthinking? A name so unique. A cultivation level of such great height. It made Daxia faintly sense danger. But fortunately, the announcement that followed. It gave them all a subtle sense of relief. So this is also a modern person from Daxia. That's good, that's good. Old Xia sighed softly. The current situation is becoming increasingly complex and unpredictable, especially with the arrival of this player. It further creates a sense of instability in the situation of Daxia. We need to figure out as soon as possible. The player known as Dao Yi Tianzun. This is also for the stability of Daxia. It's also to prepare for any unexpected events that might occur in the future. What incredible fortune might this player have encountered? Mobilize all our player communities within the game. Find the Celestial Lord Dao Yi as soon as possible. Understood and noted. At the same time, real name registration should be implemented as soon as possible. If the player Dao Yi Tianzun voluntarily registers, then it would be even better. Mr. Xia smiled and said, "Alright." Old man Xia suddenly remembered something again. "By the way, didn't we discover a few gifted individuals earlier?" "I remember. It seems to be in Novice Village 9527. It's a player who has awakened the talent for flying. Make sure to reach out to all these players. Try to attract some good opportunities." He still has no idea that two groups of people are looking for him. At this moment, once again, Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao, filled with excitement, were shouting loudly. Got pulled into the game. Charge ahead to battle monsters and level up. It just so happens that Lu also plans to stroll around the beginner's village at this time. See if there's anything worth keeping. He's planning to set up a large-scale hunting exhibition. He intends to use an entire world as this hunting hall. Of course, a great many trophies from hunts are required. Except for those celestial grade treasures. Beyond innate treasures and chaotic treasures. Of course, other treasures cannot be left out either. Luke asked if you all hadn't rested the entire day. Can you handle it? You did not upgrade. I have no idea if Tauzi and I are at level 5 now. Feeling full of energy. It's no problem to go a whole week without resting. Zhou Hao exclaimed excitedly. Luke nodded. Then you all can go. Ah Yezi. You don't go, Lu Yi shook his head. I already mentioned it before. I am now ranked first on the leaderboard. What's the point of me fighting anymore? Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao raised their pinkies at Lu Yi. Go ahead and brag. Luke shook his head. Believe it or not. Don't wait until then to say I kept it from you. The two of them watched as Lu Yi put on an air of seriousness. There was some hesitation in my heart. It can't really be possible. Absolutely impossible. You think you can still trick me? I scoff. Zhang Tao doesn't believe it at all. Even still, they are troubled by their prior hesitation. Felt embarrassed. I can't believe I actually fell for Lu Yi's nonsense. Really believed it. He is precisely the enigmatic Taoist Tianzun Great King. Wait for a while. How about adding me as a friend? Both the rat and I joined. It's just that you didn't add it. Zhang Tao noticed that Lu Yi was about to leave. Quickly exclaimed. Dao Yi Plus. After finishing his words, Lu Yi hurriedly left. Dao Yi is his gaming username. The title Dao Yi Tianzun is either his honorific or his Taoist designation. His companions usually refer to him as Dao Yi Tianzun. And his actions once again attracted attention from nearby. The exclamations of many players flew away again. Is it that expert who awakened the talent for flying? What the heck is this? Sounds a bit familiar. Zhang Tao watched as Lu also left. Muttered a phrase in reverse. Zhou Hao, what are you standing there for? Hurry up and add it. Tao Zhang suddenly noticed that Hao Zhou was lost in thought. He simply gave him a push. Zhou Hao stared blankly at Zhang Tao. Haozi. Don't you think Yako's game name sounds very familiar? That is indeed a bit. What's going on? Zhang Tao still hasn't reacted. Then he suddenly paused abruptly. The whole person froze. Explain it in a single line. The Supreme Daoist. Holy crap, Zhang Tao took a deep breath. It is impossible for Li to deceive them using a fake name. Are you kidding me? Goodness gracious. Lu Yi's game name unexpectedly ended up being the same as Dao Yi Tianzun's. What kind of crazy luck does he have? Even a random name can end up matching with a big shot. The two opened the game panel. then entered Dao Yi in the Add Friend section. There really are people named Dao Yi. The two then proceeded to click Add. In just a few seconds. Display approved. The two did not go to chat with Lu Yi. Instead, he froze all of a sudden. Stared in astonishment at the detailed information about the character. The player speaks of a supreme deity. The supreme Hongmeng Emperor. The two were momentarily stunned. My mind suddenly went blank, as if it exploded. My mind is completely blank. Buzzing continuously. They want to build more roads. The outcome was attributed to Dao Yi Tianzuan, the big shot. Not correct, not correct. Do not tell Lu Yi that this is his game name. This is freaking Luno. The virtuous supreme master is none other than Lu Yi. The two were so excited that they trembled slightly. It is highly likely that Liu Zhen is the honorable master of righteousness. Otherwise, why would they approve the two of them as friends? You should know that at the very moment the Grand Dao Golden List was announced, how many people want to add Dao Yi Tianzun as a friend? Up until now, no one has ever mentioned it on the forum. Added the great Dao Yi Tianzun as a friend. So Zhou Hao cautiously sent it over. Remove 2 words. Is it you doing the roadshow? After a moment, Dao Yi Tianzun responded with The two of them were completely stunned in an instant. My mind is completely blank. Once again, I feel a buzzing sensation in my head. Lost the ability to control expressions. It just feels so unreal. Shocked and puzzled. Baffled and unbelievable. Unbelievable. In the end, summarize it in a single sentence. My roommate turned out to be the Supreme Lord of Justice. The top rank on the leaderboard. A mysterious player of 5-digit rank. Both of them fell silent. You are utterly overwhelmed with astonishment. I'm not sure how to put it into words. Moreover, others used their real names to make the list. Only Lu Yeshidai Tianzuan made it to the list. Take your time to carefully reflect on the situation here. It might involve an extremely huge secret. Moreover, it is absolutely not at the current stage. Or perhaps it is not Blue Star at any time at all. Secrets that can be explored. You need to understand. The red team may claim it's just a game world. However, some people treat it as a game. Then he's just a fool. Everyone knows. The primeval wilderness is, in fact, the true primeval wilderness. Lu was approached by someone on the other side of the beginner's village. He is getting ready to gather some unique drop items from the monsters in the beginner's village. They were a few middle-aged men with square-shaped faces. Despite being dressed in a beginner player's outfit, but an aura of elegance, it is still apparent that they are official personnel. A few people got straight to the point. Hello, we are representatives of the authorities. May I ask? Are you the player who previously awakened the flying talent? The road indeed did not deny that it was so. The authorities now provide excellent treatment for those with talent. The strength of those with talent is also greatly needed. I'm not sure if you'd be interested in joining the official team. Deerfield outright declined, saying they had no interest in joining any faction. Forget it, he joined the game later. It does retain some memories from before. In the beginning, he didn't even join the Zixiao Palace. Still planning to join Daxia. The authorities will never align themselves with any faction in this lifetime. Being carefree isn't good. Is it really necessary to join some restrictive and rigid faction? Is it about putting on a show of pretentiousness? The classic move of getting slapped in the face. She never expected Luno to be so straightforward. Just turned it down. A bit awkward and unexpected. However, they didn't say much either. Thank you very much for your cooperation. If you change your mind later, feel free to join anytime. The official benefits will remain unchanged. What a hassle. I won't bother you anymore. They originally intended to say they wouldn't disturb Li's progress. The awkward realization was that the path also seemed unrelated to defeating the monsters. It seems like wandering around aimlessly. That's really odd. But at that very moment, the game's announcement sounded. Congratulations to player Steven for defeating the monster in the beginner's village. Became the very first, the second player to successfully leave the beginner's village. Reward reputation with 100 experience badges. *1 ding. Congratulations to the player Dao Yi Tianzun for defeating the novice village boss. Became the first player to successfully leave the beginner's village. Reward pioneers with an exclusive title. At this moment, everyone on Blue Star was completely baffled. If it is said to be the honorable master of morality, the first to clear the beginner's village, so they weren't surprised at all. But clearly, it was the eagle that chose the player Steven. the announcement that first came to mind. How? He became the second player to leave the beginner's village. The Honorable Grandmaster of Morality and Virtue. It was clearly the second announcement that came to mind. How did he end up becoming the first? Everyone was completely baffled, without understanding the reason. Only the path is clear to oneself. How could I be just the first player to leave the beginner's village? I was ahead by 11 years. Players who have left the beginner's village. Stephen couldn't get in line even if he waited for hundreds of years. Upon attaining their second accomplishment, a deep sense of satisfaction welled up in Luya's heart. As someone with a severe obsession for collecting, he has his opinions about these titles. Equipment. The person has a serious obsession with collecting treasures. They might be useless, but it must belong to Lu Yi. If received, not being able to find Lu gives a feeling of restlessness and unease. The act of gathering things together. The feeling of being inside one's own chaos pearl. It was truly an unparalleled sense of joy and contentment. At this moment, with the assistance of numerous players, it took only 27 hours. Stephen successfully completed the beginner's village. A smile just appeared. The next moment, the loud game notification sounded as expected. Stephen immediately broke into a smile. The first player to conquer the beginner's village. There must be rewards. Congratulations to player Stephen for defeating the beginner village boss. Became DD. The second player to successfully leave the beginner's village. Reward reputation with 100 gold medals. Asterisk ding. Congratulations to the player Dao Yi Tianzun for defeating the novice village boss. Became the first player to successfully leave the beginner's village. Reward the pioneers with a unique title. Underneath Stephen's originally excited expression. At that moment, I froze completely. Not correct, not correct. It was clearly him who first conquered the beginner's village. The sequence of the game's announcements. This also illustrates this point. But why? Suddenly became the top moral deity. As everyone knows, titles in the game. The title of uniqueness is particularly valuable. Because a title is not like equipment. The title has always had this effect. When the equipment can no longer keep up with the player's level, will be eliminated. Titles are generally associated with players in the late stages, and certain distinctive titles. It can also remain valid forever. Stephen was so furious that he felt like committing murder. Damn the righteous celestial lord. Just you wait for me. But he had absolutely no idea what the meaning of the virtuous celestial lord was. Every time he addressed the virtuous heavenly lord, it is simply praising a journey. He still believes up to this point. The name Dao Yi Tianzun is a complete one. At this moment, the eagle brought together the hero bear and the other 5 virtuous individuals, organizing actions one after another. Investigate areas other than the beginner's village cleared by Stephen. Which other beginner? As long as you find that beginner village, you can pass through the village. Tracing the clues step by step, you will be able to locate the mysterious player, Dao Yi Tianzun. As for what to do after finding it, that definitely depends on the situation. The Daxia authorities even directly stated to investigate. You must find the sovereign of moral virtue. Not sure if it's Stephen and the supreme morality deity. Cleared the beginner village. Later, it provided excitement to other beginner villages. Less than 2 hours. Several beginner villages have been cleared consecutively. And after that, things spiraled out of control. In just a few hours, almost every beginner village has been cleared. Even the beginner's village number 9527 has been cleared. As the official team of novice village number 9527, it was immediately transported away. They are heading to Chang'an's main city to join up with other teams. Other players are also aware of these individuals' identities. They don't even dare to compete with them. After all the officials had left, they dispersed only after using the teleportation array. Oh no, hurry up. I want to visit the main city of Chang'an to see you. Hurry up and stop dawdling. However, Luno Ben also wished to leave. But outside the beginner's village, they encountered someone they really didn't want to see. The mystic lady of the 9th heaven. Alright, just to block him here. So it even managed to obscure the divine will, huh? The road was momentarily overlooked. Surprisingly, it wasn't noticed. There's no need to mention that achieving this is possible. There is only the outer heaven beyond the 33 heavens. The 2 from the 6 paths of reincarnation beneath the 9 nether. It is likely that both of them will take action simultaneously. Perhaps the secrets of heaven have been obscured. At this moment, the Nine Heavens goddess could be seen riding a Cyan phoenix, soaring high above the skies. The sky is adorned with clusters of colorful clouds, showered countless rays of auspicious light. At that moment, everyone in Novice Village 9527 was stunned. Whoa, whoa! Fairy! Everyone stared blankly at the azure Luan bird in the sky, the stunningly beautiful woman on the body of the azure phoenix. Which female immortal might this be? And this must be the legendary mythical creature, the azure Luan, right? In the primordial world as well. It is one of the top mythical beast species, has deep and intricate ties with the phoenix. Don't be fooled by the banquet set above in the heavenly court, the finest delicacies. But in reality, do these mythical creatures really think it's that simple? Those rare and extraordinary delicacies. It's basically just a tiny bit. Just a hybrid with the bloodline of mythical beasts. And this female immortal was actually able to ride a divine azure Luan. It is enough to demonstrate his capability. A player curiously checked his information. A skill of identification revealed Nine Heavens Mystic Maiden LV and Azure Luan LV. Whoa, a colossal dragon with a 3-digit level. Such a master. It seems like making a casual move. They could probably sweep across the entire blue planet. I can't believe it showed up here in the beginner's village. Wait, something's not right. The mysterious goddess of the ninth heaven. The Nine Heavens mysterious maiden who once assisted the emperor in mythology. Damn, Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao exchanged a glance. I have no idea why. But their intuition tells them. The reason the Nine Heavens goddess appeared here. It must be for Lu Yi. Even though it's not certain. It's just that this feeling inexplicably comes over me. For some reason, I suddenly remembered Lu Ye's gaming name. The Virtuous Heavenly Lord. The title Heavenly Lord is not something just anyone can claim. And it seems to be quite lengthy. But in reality, it's merely a matter of a few fleeting moments. After the road also appeared. The celestial maiden promptly descended to the ground, riding a turquoise phoenix. The players looked completely baffled. Pushed away by an invisible force. Made space available. The celestial goddess respectfully bowed and inquired directly. The great celestial empress. Let me wait here. The road also softly responded with You should head back. I will go see him after a while. Yes, the goddess mentioned by Zhoutian Xuannu. She is his companion in the game. Actually, it's not that he has been avoiding those in-game companions. He had previously regarded this as just an ordinary game. I have absolutely no interest in reasoning or principles. It's not like it's some unhealthy butter team. There aren't really any minor storylines. He is MO. Somehow ended up figuring out a few principles. And then plunged back into the chaos to search for treasures. In the eyes of fellow cultivators, Lu Yi is avoiding them. But it really isn't. It's hilarious, Lu Yi simply forgot about them. Companions on the path are nothing compared to the importance of little piggies. Otherwise, do you think the path is piled high with countless treasures from storage backpacks? Where did it come from? The mysterious lady of the Nine Heavens nodded respectfully. She is the Empress's maid. Of course, she must follow the orders of the Empress. But the person in front of me is a free-spirited wanderer. The supreme being of the world. He is not someone he can afford to offend. He must also heed the words of the great celestial venerable. He immediately rode the azure Luan bird and left. At this moment, the thousands of players in the beginner's village. Everyone looked at the road with an expression of utter disbelief. Wow, holy crap! When the celestial maiden descended to the mortal realm. When bowing respectfully and greeting toward the road. Their minds had already gone completely blank. A level reaching triple digits. And a female immortal who also appeared in the mythology of the Great Xia. Nine Heavens mysterious maiden. She unexpectedly greeted a novice player with respect. Such a respectful attitude. What on earth is going on here? Moreover, what else did the Nine Heavens goddess say afterward? The Empress has instructed her to wait here. Who is the lady referred to as Nyang Yang by the celestial goddess? It's astonishing to be able to command the Nine Heavens goddess to act. So who is she exactly? What exactly did this player do? Shouldn't it be said what kind of opportunity she actually has? That's absolutely ridiculous. The astonishment and shock in my heart are beyond words. It might just be a series of wow moments. Perhaps only those stunned expressions can provide an explanation. Someone wants to capture this moment on video. But it seemed to be muddled by something. It is fundamentally impossible to record videos with Tianji. Game notification ding. The secrets of this area have been obscured. Unable to capture an image. The secrets have all been obscured. It would be strange if it could still record videos. However, even if recording a video is possible, that doesn't serve any purpose either. Completely impossible. Record the player's face. Even the face of the Nine Heavens goddess was beyond their ability to see clearly. Only aware that it's incredibly beautiful. Only Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao might truly understand on the spot. What is the reason? No one can make out what the Nine Heavens mysterious maiden is shouting. Even if they hear it, they wouldn't dare to be sure. Only they have the courage to be certain. The Nine Heavens goddess was calling out to the great heavenly sovereign. What's the deal with the title Great Supreme? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Anyone who has a bit of knowledge about mythology. It is about understanding the significance behind the title of the Grand Celestial Sovereign. Only within the realm of mythology. Only the supreme deity can be referred to as the Great Celestial Sovereign. But they consider Li's cultivation to be supreme. The great Emperor Hongmeng also expressed understanding, but grasp each concept. What on earth is a banana-pineapple mix? They are still concerned about Li's situation nowadays. Felt astonished. Clearly, they are all just beginner players. Why? Strange situations tend to occur frequently on Li. And take a look at his level of cultivation. The name of this cultivation realm, Supreme Hongmeng Emperor. It is not acceptable to address others casually without proper titles. Take your time to savor and reflect. This level. Perhaps it's the people of Blue Star. It must be a top secret that one could never uncover in this lifetime. If it weren't for Liu Ye's cultivation being revealed on the Grand Dao Gold list, the words on the ranking list, with Blue Star's capabilities, it might take an entire lifetime of a species. No one can gain insight into this realm. The slightest bit of information. Actually, it wasn't what shocked and terrified the two the most. What terrified and frightened the two the most was, it was clearly just the first time logging into the game. But why is the Nine Heavens goddess in the game? We'll get to know Liu Yi. A player like Liu Yi actually knows the characters in the game. The amount of information contained in this is enough to make one's scalp tingle. And address Liu Yi as the Grand Supreme. What on earth is going on? Liu Yi's in-game name is Daoist Tianzuan. Who is the lady mentioned by Zhou Xuanu? It was the Empress who instructed him to wait here for Liu. What is the purpose of being wild? The news from Novice Village number 9527. It quickly spread across the gaming forums. Countless people were left bewildered. You mentioned the Nine Heavens mysterious maiden from mythology and legends. Unexpectedly, I ended up outside a beginner's village. Then showed great respect to a new player. If it's not everyone from Novice Village number 9527, everyone is talking about this matter. The other players surely wouldn't believe it. Just thought it was some players trying to grab attention. However, there happened to be no way to capture video evidence. This makes it a bit hard to grasp. Is this real or fake? I truly have no idea. However, the players still ended up handling this matter. Discuss it as a topic of conversation. Who cares if it's real or fake? Anyway, it's definitely enough for bragging. However, the players did not believe this matter. The Daxia authorities did indeed keenly take notice. And feel. This is very likely to be the mysterious sovereign of morality. The authorities of Daxia promptly initiated an investigation. And still in reality, randomly summoned several 9,527 rookie village members. Players who have registered with their real identity. The outcome is, it is true that the Nine Heavens mysterious maiden has indeed appeared. Moreover, they genuinely gave a respectful greeting to a player. Hello. Could you provide a detailed description of the situation at that time? The environment in the conversation room is quite pleasant. There are tea and beverages. There are snacks, but it depends on the setting. You can't even imagine. This turned out to be the conversation room of the special department. The summoned player felt a bit anxious. Then came the arrival. Was it our beginner village that got cleared at that time? We all want to leave the beginner's village. Then I looked up and saw a fairy riding a blue phoenix. Is it the Nine Heavens goddess? The person asking the question looked up and inquired. The player nodded repeatedly. Well, yes. It is precisely the celestial maiden of the Nine Heavens. We simply couldn't get close to her at that time. It is still impossible to clearly see her face. She was aware of her extraordinary beauty. What is her rank? The person asking the question inquired again. Can't tell. Only 3 question marks. The player responds. Then added. It should be a 3-digit level. Alright, what do you mean? Seeing the nine heavens mysterious goddess facing a player. Speak with great respect. What else was mentioned? The Empress indeed is. Yes, my hearing is excellent. And it never mishears. It's completely impossible to mishear. The player said earnestly. Then he hesitated a bit. What did the person asking the question notice? Handed over a glass of water. Asked gently. What do you mean? Feel free to speak your mind. Well, I'm not entirely sure either. However, it seems that I heard. The Nine Heavens Mystic Maiden addressed that player with a remark. The Supreme Player hesitated a bit. I'm not sure if I misheard it. The person asking the question froze for a moment. It's all good, no worries. You have provided a highly significant clue. A bonus will be credited to your account later. Well, there's no need to pay taxes. The player was overjoyed. I didn't expect to be asked a question. Surprisingly, there's a bonus available. By the way, I wanted to ask you something. In your opinion, could that gamer possibly be the Moral Supreme? The player reminisced about the scene at that time. Nodded vigorously. I believe it is. Alright, thank you for your cooperation. After a moment, stacks of conversation records were delivered to a certain office. Elder Xia can almost be certain. The player from Novice Village number 9527. It is the enigmatic virtuous heavenly sovereign. The secretary spoke cautiously. Old Master Xia felt a sudden surge of energy. Have you identified any suspects yet? Confirmed. The secretary nodded. Then stated. When this virtuous celestial sovereign player made their appearance, it may result in disorder within the natural order. A game hint will appear. So, we just need to search in this direction. Elder Xia pondered over this mysterious player, the virtuous celestial, the realm filled with an aura of unknown mystery beyond. Also nodded. To be able to accept such a mysterious level of cultivation, there exists such a profound and mysterious effect in the world. It doesn't seem entirely impossible. The player who had been recorded before. All can be excluded. Elder Xia, due to incomplete information, made an incorrect judgment directly. What a pity now. The player from Novice Village number 9527. They have already entered all the major main cities. The clue we just found is probably useless again. At least we have pinpointed a crucial piece of information. As long as we are players in the Novice Village number 9527, just keep narrowing down the search area. The reason Mr. Xia made the decision so quickly, it was due to a player providing a crucial clue. The goddess from the mythical tales known as the Nine Heavens Mystic Maiden, addressed as the Heavenly Venerable. The Grand Elder Xia's pupils suddenly contracted. The title of the Great Celestial. As long as someone has some understanding of the history of Daxia mythology, everyone understands what this means. The Great Celestial Sovereign can only be achieved by reaching the Supreme Deity level. Only then can it be called that. And that Taoist Heavenly Venerable was actually referred to as the Great Heavenly Venerable. Wait for the Heavenly Venerable. Heavenly Lord Tao. His name itself contains a celestial lord. What does this indicate? This demonstrates that he had previously interacted with those game characters. Even the game acknowledges this name. It's truly becoming more and more terrifying. This enigmatic Taoist celestial. How exactly did you get to know those characters in the game? It's truly chilling when you think about it. Elder Xia's gaze was deep and distant. However, it is absolutely necessary to locate this Taoist virtue celestial, no matter the path or purpose. Nor did I accompany Delu to the main city. He is reviewing the title he just earned as a reward. The sole title of the pioneer. The first hero to leave the beginner's village. The fearless pioneer. The title effect grants a 10% increase in experience gained. If this title were placed within a span of 1 billion years, then for the road. It is also a highly significant and divine level title. But as for the current path as well, to say this title feels a bit unnecessary or unremarkable. Especially considering that he is now at the maximum level, and he was well aware of one thing. In the midst of the current chaos, his level of cultivation should be considered the highest. At present, within chaos and wilderness, the most powerful one is Yang Mei, who has retreated into chaos. He is one of the chaos primordial gods, the former space demon. Later, perished under the chaos supreme treasure, the Pango Axe, the first hollow willow of the primordial world upon turning around. While traveling through the vast wilderness in search of treasures, the first time I accidentally came across him. At that time, he had already become a grand primordial golden immortal, equivalent to the power of a heavenly sage. It's just that compared to other heavenly Dao sages, he is completely free from any restrictions. You can navigate through chaos. The second time I came across him, Yang Mei has already reached the level of a half-step primordial chaos golden immortal. It is equivalent to a half-step heavenly Dao realm. But as far as Lui's realm is concerned, his level is still too low and too shallow. Above the primordial supreme great Luo golden immortal, there are still more than a dozen realms. Each realm is akin to the gap between a sage and an ant. At this moment, Lu Yi was fully aware. In the 10 or so levels beneath him, no one managed to hit me at all. Only he relies on his talent for gaming and awakening. Directly advance step by step to the current level of cultivation. Well, what Lu Yi didn't mention was the 2 encounters with Yang Mei. Lu Yi competed against Yang Mei twice. For Lu Yi, it's just a normal in-game PvP encounter with a wild NPC. After defeating Yang Mei, a lot of loot will also be dropped. But as for bayberries, it's not all that wonderful. The 2 encounters with Lu Yi, all were inexplicably beaten badly. And after the fight, their treasures were confiscated. The only thing that was not taken from him was the precious treasure he carried. Other collections amassed over countless years of chaos. Everything was completely ransacked by Lu Yi. Yet, this peculiar path, the realm of a person, is extraordinarily lofty. He even felt as if he were standing before the essence of the great Tao. However, during the second meeting, things had changed. Facing him felt like confronting something omnipresent. 2 meetings. The outcome was twice overturned. The Daoist Yang Mei, however, thoroughly enjoys it without growing weary. Because of his gains, it's far from being comparable to those treasures in the chaos that Li was unaware of at the moment. The Daoist Yang Mei is currently digging for treasure with great effort, just looking forward to Lu Yi coming to fight him for the 3rd time. The outcome, however, is that Li remained for a very long time. No one has returned to that chaotic place again. But who exactly is Li? As a player with a severe collecting obsession, what do you think? Would he let go of such a one-of-a-kind title? Whether cherished or not here in Lui, it's not just about valuing the worth of an item. It also depends on the rarity of the item. A unique title. Do you consider this kind of collectible valuable? That must be incredibly valuable. As a severe collector of items, the road also pertains to these peculiar and bizarre things. There is a strong desire for collection. What he aims to gather is far more than just items. There are also achievements, including rewarding these, even though these things seem completely useless to others. However, that is not the case with Lui. Gather these items. It gives Lui an unparalleled sense of fulfillment. Lu Yi put on the title badge. These are the only 2 titles he currently holds. Logged into the game over the past 11 years. From large-scale games, it's as if it were one. The game mechanics that are continuously being improved. There's absolutely no such title. There isn't any grand golden list. It was precisely after the official launch. These features have also been fully optimized. These 2 are precisely the 2 titles for Lu Yi. Nature is truly cherished. And at the moment of donning the Supreme Hongmeng, the title of Supreme Celestial Sovereign thereafter, the very next moment, the entire primordial world suddenly resonated with bursts of enchanting Taoist melodies. Golden lotus flowers bloom one after another above. Countless patterns emerged. The heavenly dew transforms into rosy clouds. The essence of the rainbow spreads far and wide. Flying from the edge of primeval times, a streak of purple light hung in the sky. More than 30,000 Tao patterns of the golden lotus have been recorded by heaven and earth. The essence of purple energy and red clouds was absorbed by heaven and earth. The foundation of the entire primordial world was wildly replenished. The essence of the Tao between heaven and earth grows increasingly profound. The foundation of the primordial wilderness has been enhanced by an immeasurable degree. The sound of the Tao permeates. Between heaven and earth, countless phenomena emerge. The heavenly way and the great path descended together. Endless merits then descended upon Lu Yi. Luke directly took out the Chaos Pearl, caught the great virtue of the Tao. Then, he took out the Taiji diagram to receive the heavenly Tao's merit. The 2 treasures were instantly imbued with countless auras of virtue, transformed into the supreme treasure of virtue and chaos. The supreme treasure of virtue, the Chaos Pearl, and the innate treasure of virtue, the Taiji diagram. Lu Yi also hadn't expected it. This bears a title. It's surprising that it could evolve into such a phenomenon. No wonder it is the only title without a superior rank. This is indeed profound. Moreover, it is merely a phenomenon associated with the wearing of the title. It simply elevated the status of the primordial world. This feels a bit unexpected. At this moment, countless beings in the primordial world also reaped immense benefits. The resonance of the Tao between heaven and earth enhanced their aptitude. Golden Lotus inspired them to reflect. The heavens bestowed rain, enhancing their strength, especially certain old monsters. Thanks to the ancient legacy and the elevation of status, their shackles completely vanished because of this matter. All the great powers of the primordial era turned their gazes toward the southern continent. Regardless of being above the 33 heavens, still beneath the 9 netherworlds, or perhaps the starry sky high above the 9th heaven, great powers emerge. Everyone bowed to Lu Yi in unison, grateful for his creation in the primordial chaos. No matter what Lu Yi had done before, how utterly immoral can one be? At this moment, however, he showed interest in the primordial world. That is achievement. After everyone bowed together in unison, slowly rose to their feet, shaking their heads one after another. Why has this troublemaker come to guard the prehistoric land again? The expressions on everyone's faces appeared somewhat peculiar, feeling grateful despite the disdain, grateful yet tinged with a hint of reluctant aversion. Extremely intricate. Between heaven and earth, countless deep sighs echo endlessly, expresses countless sorrows and helplessness. At this moment, countless players currently online. Chi-Chi received a significant game hint. You are bestowed upon by the Supreme Heavenly Exalted One, the influence of the Tao Virtue Celestial Sovereign's Tao Path. You received a permanent enhancement rod. The gain of experience increases by 1% due to enhanced comprehension. You are honored by the Supreme and Unparalleled Great Celestial Sovereign, the influence of the Taoist Virtue Supreme's Tao Fortune. You have entered a state of enlightenment. You have grasped the player's technique, the path of righteousness and morality. The cultivation technique has flaws. The protagonist did not get taken advantage of. You are blessed by the Supreme Great Celestial Venerable Taoyi, the influence of the Celestial Path's fortune. Your abilities are continuously improving. Experience increases by 1 + 1 + 1. Your level has reached 10. Because you have not yet changed careers. That's why you can't upgrade. Experience is stored in the experience pool. At this moment, at least half of the players worldwide. It is currently live. All have caught up in the influence of this wave of Tao fortune. Got a taste of it. The version benefits from the Supreme Celestial Sovereign of the ultimate primordial realm. Isn't this considered a version benefit? The previous era of chaos was version 1.0. Right now, it's version 1.1. The primordial world has been upgraded. Everyone stared at themselves in astonishment. The 3 game hints that come to mind. The mouth slowly opened. Damn, this freaking moral supreme did it. Damn this moment. Just grant everyone a permanent boost then. Is this seriously a real player? This is one heck of a player. Permanently benefited billions of players. What the hell, you even caused such a big commotion. Whoa, whoa. Wow, what the heck is this? Take a look at what the entire game has turned into. The entire sky was filled with auspicious clouds and rosy hues. Those dewdrops. Those purple auras. Those golden rays. The entire game world was completely covered. Wasn't there an introduction to the game before? It is said that the primordial world has no boundaries. It is endlessly distant. Then take a look at this situation. You told me. This is someone who has just entered the game. A beginner who has been playing for less than 2 days. It can be figured out. This is freaking unbelievable. Countless players customized their game interfaces. It was posted on the gaming forum. It immediately sparked countless exclamations. Directly gain 3 consecutive buff states. Return it to billions of players. All of them were added to a permanent enhancement list. Is that so? Don't you feel any responsibility toward the billions of players? They all got promoted several levels together. Are you surprised? Billions of gamers. Not surprised my foot. Is he a player or a game GM? Players like this are joining us to play. Are we truly playing the same game? This is absolutely ridiculous. Players like this are playing with us. It's like living entirely in his shadow. Living in his shadow for a lifetime. Are you still thinking about surpassing him? For regular players like us, don't even talk about surpassing him. I guess even achieving immortality would be nearly impossible. Isn't becoming an immortal also about having the right destiny? Although we are players. But do we truly have a destined connection with the immortals? It's not like all of us can become immortals, right? That gentleman is indeed overthinking it. Ha ha ha. Still wondering how to surpass and become a supreme expert one day. Can we manage to become immortals in this world? It's already pretty good. Is there a possibility? Just like other online game novels. Although all players start out the same. However, only a few can ultimately achieve divinity. That hit me deep. I was still dreaming of becoming an immortal and living a carefree life forever. All these remarks. The sentences, mostly from players who are just barely online. They happen to get involved in those controversial situations. So it feels very effortless to speak. What about the others? The tone of irritation and frustration. Even resentment and anger. It is particularly burdensome, especially for those who are overly self-centered. The statement was extremely irritable. Why is it that as soon as I log off, something good happens? It's not about why or what gives you the right. Why can't I get a free ride? He knows he doesn't stand a chance, and it's unfair. Moreover, he felt too embarrassed to voice his thoughts. After all, that is indeed somewhat unreasonable. However, he truly felt emotionally unbalanced. Why does he miss out on such a good thing? Others, however, managed to relish it. If this isn't unfair, then what is? Then he started stirring things up. He is aware. There are far too many people who hold this kind of belief. Yes, it went very smoothly. His remarks were just posted. Someone immediately chimed in. Before long, the gaming forum was filled with protests and appeals. Unjust remarks. However, they are simply casting flirtatious glances at someone who cannot see. Because Lucchino couldn't even be bothered to glance at the gaming forum. He definitely doesn't have that kind of free time. No matter how lively the gaming forums are, those with ulterior motives wouldn't dare to cause too much trouble. The good guy only dares to say a few words. Let them actually scold Lee a bit. I definitely wouldn't dare. After all, the skills can be brought into reality. With the strength of the moral heavenly sovereign, it seems they might be killed. It's as easy as squashing a few ants. At this moment, the authorities of Daxia, Mr. Xia did not manage to benefit from those advantageous effects. However, he doesn't care about any of that. Instead, inquired. Determine how many military players benefited this time in total. Except for a very small portion, Elder Xia is present. Everyone else is online. Elder Xia couldn't help but nod upon hearing the words. As long as the majority can benefit, that's enough. As for the rest, it's truly beyond our ability to demand. After all, nothing can ever be completely flawless. The principle of understanding that moral law. How's the analysis coming along? Recalling the horror of that moral law, Mr. Xia couldn't help but gasp sharply. The moral principles are based on Dao Yi Tianzun, the mental technique comprehended through the principles of Dao. Not teachable. Cannot be upgraded. The effects of the technique convert intelligence into mana. Attributes. Each upgrade grants an additional 10 free attribute points. Each level up increases attribute points by 1.3. Automatically gain 10 experience points every minute. After reaching level 10, you can switch to the Qi Cultivator role by completing the corresponding job transition tasks. The primordial world is a place where cause and effect are highly emphasized. Received benefits from Lu Yi for no apparent reason. How could one avoid incurring a debt of karma? Moreover, it is also a grace of imparting teachings. This consequence might have to be borne for a lifetime. Elder Xia, despite this is not the first time seeing this attribute, but was still deeply shocked. The significance of this cultivation method speaks for itself. As long as someone has eyes, it is evident how powerful this cultivation technique is. After others reach level 10, it is still necessary to find a new profession before proceeding with the job change. And now, what they need to take into account is, can this technique be shared? I only hope for a favorable outcome. However, things in life often don't go as planned. This technique must not be shared. Even the owner. None of them can convey any relevant information. As if bound by something invisible. Blocked something off. Mr. Xia felt a bit regretful. After all, this technique is still quite practical. If possible, he also intends to give it a try. The result doesn't matter, just let it go. It doesn't matter if you can't learn it. However, he personally has no objections to not being able to learn. But those players don't have it so easy. Mr. Xia rubbed his temples and said, Kindly notify the relevant departments. Pay attention to the general sentiment in the gaming forums. Try to maintain control over public opinion. Avoid situations where public opinion takes control. Especially, pay attention to the matter regarding Dowie, the updates of the Celestial Lord. If you notice anything, let me know immediately. The secretary nodded. Later discovered. It seems that Elder Xia has nothing left to explain. That's just going down. The path indeed pertains to matters of the gaming forum. Not even a follow. Even he treated it entirely as such. The so-called gaming forum does not exist. You've spent enough time playing the game today. So he quickly departed from the Wild Era game, to avoid running into someone you'd rather not see. It turned out that he had just returned to his dormitory. I realized that both of my roommates had already gone offline. At this moment, the two were discussing strategies for defeating monsters. Tauzi was greeted on the way. Why did you two log off so quickly today? The two individuals heard what Lu Yi said. A sudden jolt of surprise hit me. Quickly got up. Oh, you're back. At this moment, the two faced Lu Yi. It turned out to be somewhat reserved. But there is no solution. If you were dealing with a roommate who suddenly became secretive, I guess you might be the same way. The two of them gazed at Lu Yi with somewhat complicated expressions. Especially when confronted with the gaze of the top lane jungler. There will always be a bit of restraint. The Celestial Master of the Way. A name that sparks imagination. Not just anyone can be addressed as Tianzuan. Especially in this game world set against the backdrop of ancient wilderness. There is also a sense of taboo involved. You are just a mere player. Together with those great celestial lords, they are referred to as the great celestial lords. What do you mean? It is likely that someone bold enough to choose this name. The name has just been decided. A bolt of lightning had already struck down from the sky. So this is the current situation with Lui. It becomes somewhat thought-provoking. Lu Yi also noticed a slight change in their attitudes. He didn't really say much. He rarely ever takes the time to explain anything. In any case, it's just one sentence. Just let things be the way they are. If we get along, we can stay together. If we can't get along, let's part ways. The main focus is on taking things lightly. How about you all go eat together? The two agreed and set off. Neither of them asked for directions either. What exactly is the situation regarding Dao Yi Tianzuan? Secrets like these. Everyone still gets it. Don't ask questions you shouldn't ask. Otherwise, you might end up not even being able to stay friends. However, even if not asking. But the way the two of them looked at Lu Yi, still filled with intense surprise and madness. This is the top player in the world. If it were placed in a typical game from before, a title as the best in the world is enough to make anyone proud. It could even be considered bringing honor to the nation. Not to mention, nowadays, but truly impactful games that can change the world. What does being number one in the world signify? This person represents expertise in this area. Completely dominated the entire world. What's more, the title of being the world's best also belongs to Lu. It's not all that superficial. The amount of value contained in this is beyond imagination. A 5-digit rank is enough to inspire admiration. It's likely the current road. It might simply rely on individual capability. It can make the British generals kneel down and call him father. The three of them remained the same as before. Ordered some barbecue near the university. Drinking while bragging. Something unexpected suddenly occurred on the street. A person was chasing after a man and a woman with a knife, attempting to attack them. Extremely brutal. Extremely fast. Moreover, possesses exceptional skills. Strength is not something for ordinary people to casually dabble in. The man holding the knife was acting like a madman. Go on a wild chopping spree. It only took a few strikes to bring down the couple in front. Then, like chopping a dog, he frantically chopped and chopped. Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao were both stunned. Wow, that person must be at least a level 7 expert. What exactly is he doing it for? An expert like him. You should be in high demand wherever you go, right? Why bother doing something like this? Tao Zhan looked utterly bewildered. You can indeed notice a few things along the road. Things that are invisible to others. Shaking his head, he wasn't doing it for any money. He acted purely out of revenge. The road is also visible. The man who attacked with a knife. There is a red thread connecting her to the woman who was previously attacked. Prove that the woman and the man are clearly the same. Married couple. And now it has become quite evident. It's when a woman cheats and gets caught by a man. And then got cut. Just wait. The authorities are about to implement some restrictive measures soon. Too fierce. How many times has there been a murder near us already? Deerfield spoke calmly. It's time for the daily update of the Grand Thieves leaderboard. Everyone looked up. The scroll in the sky that veiled the golden list of the Blue Heart. It has set a new benchmark that countless people are eagerly anticipating. Some gamers. At this moment, it's unclear what exactly one is hoping for. Are you perhaps wondering how far Yukino can go? Not sure, but they are at this moment. Also gazing at the grand golden list above the sky. Looking forward in my heart. The 10th place. LV10 wears Okamoto in the island country on the 10th, achieving 7 major completions in chi refining. Reward with a diamond piece of equipment. At this moment, the islanders who were loudly clamoring just yesterday, no longer making a fuss, because they are aware that they have only one. Making it to the 10th spot on the list is simply disgraceful. Yesterday, they were jumping around so energetically. The outcome was not only influenced by their Uncle Sam. Delivered a fierce slap. Got a harsh scolding as well. Nowadays, they wouldn't dare to act recklessly anymore. Just gazing at the golden glow of the giant blade overhead. Silently reciting Okamoto-kun in my mind. You've got to keep going. Let us strive for our great cherry blossom empire. Drive that darn Uncle Sam out. Shouting on one side. Calling out dad all over again. Should I say it's typical of a small island nation's nature? In fact, there hasn't been much change in the rankings of the top 9. The player who previously held the advantage. At this moment, the advantage can still be maintained. It will not be surpassed by others. All the people on Blue Star are paying attention to. Actually, it's not exactly the top 9 either. Instead, it's the first place. The grand golden scroll slowly unfurled. It still seems as if a similar lagging issue has occurred. All eyes stared intently at the golden list that was slowly unfolding. Everyone's hearts were filled with tension. The first-ranked LV Dowie Heavenly Sovereign. The Supreme of Da Xia. The great Emperor of Hongmeng bestows rewards upon the divine path. The hearts that everyone had been holding in suspense for Ip Man finally came to rest. Everyone is aware of what they are truly looking forward to. However, the anticipated event surprisingly did not occur. This filled their hearts with countless feelings of disappointment. How much they wished this was just a blunder in the game. The outcome is absolutely not. They are unable to alter the outcome. They are already able to foresee. In the future, it will be the shadow ruled by the moral supreme. They will never see the light of day. Shrouded beneath the shadow of Dao Tianzuan. Especially for international players. Put yourself in someone else's shoes. If they were the ones to attain such cultivation, it's quite clear what they're going to do. However, the road doesn't really have that many bizarre ideas either. What governs the world? There's no need to destroy all of humanity. He hasn't completely lost his mind yet. He is merely just an ordinary player with a habit of collecting. However, the only things that catch his interest are those within the game. The things in reality are better left alone, I suppose. Moreover, this tiny blue planet. In the end, it's impossible to make him stay. It is impossible for him to remain on Blue Star forever. Wait until that day. The day when games and reality fully merge. He will leave Blue Star and head to chaos. With such cultivation. If the only thought is to act domineering and oppressive on Blue Star, that's all they're capable of achieving. After the shock subsided, all the players stared at Dao Yi Tianzun in astonishment. The reward received this time. Wow. What the heck, Divine Path Profession? What does this mean? This is truly a prestigious position. If I'm not mistaken, this position is essentially equivalent to a clerical role. As long as he is obtained, he will become an immortal. This is not in line with the deities of the West. Does it achieve a similar effect? All the players have gone crazy. The road also withdrew the reward at this moment. This divine position of the 9th rank in the Path of Gods. Although it feels quite redundant to him. But at least it's still a collectible. Moreover, this no longer holds any collectible value. This is Blue Star. The treasure that so many players eagerly yearn for. As long as anyone obtains this position, you will become an immortal being that others envy, like a deity. Although it can only amount to a 9th grade divine position. But if this position of responsibility is cast aside, do you believe that Blue Star would immediately spark a global war? So, although this position holds a low rank, but Lu was still quite happy. However, after the joy, the expression on Lu Ye's face turned somewhat grim again. If it isn't essential, the road didn't even want to cause any big trouble. But why is it that there are always some people thinking about testing my own limits? Do you really think your own strength is just a joke? Don't even mention the Supreme Hongmeng Emperor, even a sage. If someone thinks of him again, he will also undergo some changes. But these people just talk about it on gaming forums and that's it, insisting on bringing it up in real life. It also explicitly mentions Taoist deity Tianzuan by name. How is this any different from shouting insults right in his ear? A trace of displeasure flickered in Li's eyes. What should be done if he's upset? Of course, you should clap back. It also serves to let certain people know your stance, so you don't have to live in constant anxiety and keep searching for yourself every day. What are you looking for? What do you plan to do after finding yourself? Luke couldn't care less about those trivial matters. He is merely someone who enjoys gathering players. He has no interest in dealing with any nonsense. However, that does not imply he can be pushed around. Those who are talking about me can keep quiet now. An abrupt stroke. The yellow zodiac sound lingering in the minds of all Blue Star people suddenly erupted, as if it were like a resounding bell. It almost seems like a muffled thunderous sound. Everyone. At this moment, whether within the game or outside of it. The next moment, countless people were directly removed from the game. Countless people looked on in astonishment. The game just sent out a notification. Due to unavoidable circumstances, forcefully logged out. The crowd had not yet recovered from the sudden shock. At this moment, it was heard. The sound of a yellow hue. Time came to a complete standstill. Everything has come to a halt. The entire world can only hear Li's voice. I am the player known as the Virtuous Supreme. Some individuals should pay more attention, even if it means speaking ill of me. Don't say it in real life either. I can hear all of you speaking, and some people should stop reaching out to me. You have found me. What else can be done? I won't become a member of any organization. And my belongings, I decide who to give it to based on my preference. What is your dog barking at? Do you believe I won't knock your head sideways if the dog keeps barking? Mute the world. Heard the voice of a celestial being scolding someone. At this moment, the road truly seemed to have forcibly muted the world. The whole world is listening to the sound of him furiously cursing. You've already vented enough while waiting. After venting thoroughly, I made my stance clear. The world has finally returned to normal. This is the first time for everyone. Truly and genuinely felt it. The significance of being ranked first on the Moral Supreme leaderboard. In a situation like just now, just include everyone directly. They were all pulled out from the game world. In the realm of gaming, everyone can respawn infinitely. And on the blue planet, there's no such thing as resurrection for everyone. In other words, the Moral Supreme has the power to annihilate all of humanity. Some conspiracy theorists have no doubts. The virtuous heavenly sovereign possesses the power to destroy the blue planet. But they aren't afraid at all, because they can also seek refuge in the gaming world. The concept of death does not exist in the game world. Players are allowed to respawn endlessly. Even if Dao Tianzuan possesses boundless divine powers, it is also impossible to kill them in the game. Result: the Taoist celestial directly gave them a display of intimidation. He possesses the power to destroy the blue planet, and also possesses the means to annihilate all of humanity. Many people had already considered this issue, and also use games as a survival method for escaping danger in the future. Especially the case of the recent attack. Even more official entities have started promoting it. This method was shared with more people. I hope there will be fewer tragedies and disastrous incidents. This approach has yet to be promoted. There ended up being such a significant flaw. Many people couldn't help but feel a slight chill of fear. If the road also needs to deal with them in this way, then they had absolutely no chance to fight back. Even if escaping to the wilderness, it is also destined to endure a fate of suffering, but at least still alive. At this moment, countless people on Blue Star looked pale. In the office, Mr. Xia and several others, talking about the changes that will happen in the future. The voice of Dao Tianzuan suddenly echoed, and the very next moment, they only felt that everything came to a standstill, unable to move or breathe, but there happens to be no discomfort at all. Even the scene before my eyes fell into complete stillness. They can't do anything, just quietly listening to that mysterious player. The Virtuous Supreme being insults others. It was also their first time experiencing it firsthand. The strength of the player known as Dao Tianzun prohibited the time of a planet. What an incredible power this is! That definitely doesn't mean forcing everything to remain unchanged, but truly prohibited the entire world's realm of the blue planet. But if this is a mandatory action to ban it worldwide, instead of making time stand still, that is even more frightening. Because, when forcibly halting blue planet's rotation and revolution, the blue star would instantly be affected by its rotation and revolution, the destruction caused by inertia. However, the celestial venerable Tao can prevent this situation from occurring. This is far more powerful than mere destruction. And when time returned to normal again, the few people in the office remained silent. Everyone remained silent. Soon after, someone rushed in to report the situation. All the players in the game were also kicked out. Elder Xia exclaimed in disbelief, "That's correct. They were all forcibly kicked out." Mr. Xia fell into deep thought. This player named Dao Tianzuan. It's truly becoming more and more frightening. After a long time, he slowly began to speak. Since he doesn't want us to reach out to him, then let's not look for it anymore. However, someone nearby holds a differing opinion. I personally think, Elder Xia, the more he doesn't want us to do something, then we should all the more strive to do it. Think about it, what if you were to possess such strength? Are you afraid that others might discover you? The person glanced around the surroundings. Said wouldn't. Because we are unstoppable. However, he ended up resisting us when we tried to reach out to him. What does this indicate? He has vulnerabilities. Therefore, I believe we ought to go and look for him. At the very least, we can offer him some help. Perhaps it requires our protection. We can't just stand by and watch others bully him, can we? Mr. Xia gave him a profound look. Is it protection or something else? He had no idea. But all he knows is, since the path is also unwilling, then they shouldn't do it. I personally think it's better not to do unnecessary things. If he requires it, they will seek our help. In other situations, let's avoid excessive interference. Alright, let's leave it at that. That's all there is to say about him. Mr. Xia spoke directly. The tone leaves no room for doubt. The expressions on the faces of others varied, but none of them started speaking. Oh, it would be great if he was willing to join us officially. I gave up my seat directly for him. The person regretfully said. Is old Xiao for real? Some couldn't help but make a few teasing remarks. He won't wait until the moment he actually arrives. I suppose you're reluctant now, aren't you? Old Xiao didn't say a word. Spoke directly. Here's what I have to say. As long as he shows up, I immediately step down to make way for someone more capable. Is it true or not? Could this possibly be fake? The real fear is that they might not show up at all. Look down on us. Take a look at what kind of status they have. The Great Supreme. Where is this identity? Not popular here. Old Xiao let out a slight sigh. Well, that's true. Everyone thought of this and couldn't help but let out a sigh. The threat posed by Fa Ku to us is too significant. The top brass of Uncle Sam angrily slammed the table and stood up. The tone was filled with an uncertain sense of panic. Still a feeling of anger. But I guess there's probably more panic involved. They are currently located underground, in a hidden sanctuary. The outermost layer, encased in a thick shell made of lead, used to block prying eyes. This was something they specifically prepared in advance to prevent doomsday. The doomsday shelter fortress that was constructed. I never expected it to come in handy at this moment. I never expected him to still have an impact on the game. Damn it. Someone also had a gloomy expression. Like everyone else, they all treat the game as their last resort. It turned out that this idea was completely unworkable. That Moral Supreme unexpectedly has the ability to impact the game. This is not a place for you to make meaningless complaints. Take a look at this report, everyone. Eagle Sauce President. Directly ask everyone to take a look at the physical report in front of them. A sense of foreboding arose in everyone's hearts. Hurriedly opened it to take a look. The next moment, their expressions turned extremely unpleasant. How could he possibly know the game? The sound. The main point is that he has never left the beginner's village at all. After this question was raised, everyone's expressions grew increasingly grim. This issue has been considered by everyone. It's nothing more than this supreme deity of righteousness, far more mysterious than they could ever imagine. He had even accessed the game before its official launch. Otherwise, this situation would not have occurred. The information hidden behind this matter. It sends shivers down one's spine, hair standing on end. Upon closer examination, it feels like stumbling upon a forbidden conspiracy, sending a chill down your spine. Many people appeared even more pale. What is the name of that deity? Is there something particularly significant? The renowned deity of the Great Xia. Someone inquired. The mysterious lady of the ninth heaven. The ancient deities from the mythology of Da Xia. The origins of his mythology are likely to date back thousands of years ago. According to legend, the deity who assisted you the Great in controlling the Great Flood. Everyone immediately took a sharp breath in. Ancient legends spanning thousands of years are absolutely terrifying. Their history spans no more than a few centuries. They even fabricated a lot of history. This is something that is widely recognized and acknowledged internationally. Everyone is well aware of this. As a result, Da Xia casually brought forth a deity. They have a history spanning thousands of years. Absolutely terrifying. Now we need to figure something out. How exactly did he come to know the deity within the game? His own skill level in the game. Take a look at what kind of secrets lie behind this. Yes. Regarding the strength of this so-called moral celestial lord, they tend to favor him more. Perhaps they once came across some opportunities. How is the progress of others' level advancements? The Eagle inquired of the president. At the moment, our Stephen has already begun working on the job transition task. He is likely to be the first player to change professions. Gotta give thanks to that person. If it weren't for him, our Stephen. How is that possible? You found information about career changes so quickly. Sorry, the sentence provided seems unclear or jumbled. Could you please clarify or provide additional context? The British leader was also glowing with a radiant complexion. We have to ensure that other countries are made aware. We British will not decline. At this moment, the college dormitory. Zhou Hao and Zhang Tao also managed to break free from that state. They looked at the road with peculiar expressions. It seems that Hao Jiahualu has also heard something. Sounds that others cannot hear. That's why they got so upset. Think about those words. Zhou Hao and the other person decided that they definitely wouldn't bother him today, to avoid trouble. But think about those legendary experts. Mention their names in the hearts of others. They all have a sense of connection in the unseen realm. Take another look at this moment. It's no surprise to Mr. Liu anymore. It would be good if certain people could pay a bit more attention. Mr. Liu is indeed quite enigmatic. If he gets really annoyed, in the future, I won't be able to get by in the game. Think about who the goddess mentioned by Zhou Tianzuan could be. Such an existence is all thanks to Mr. Liu. If searching for him ends up offending the path itself, he doesn't even need to say a word. There are plenty of deities standing up for him. The lofty immortals and deities. Would they even care about a mere player? It is clearly impossible. All they can do is silently pray for these people. I hope these guys don't push their luck too far. Otherwise, you might end up not even knowing how you met your end. Louis opened his eyes. As expected, he could no longer hear certain reckless people bothering him. He didn't say people couldn't talk about him. But you came chasing after. In reality, everyone criticizes. That's going too far. Do they really think Louis is an easy target? At this moment, Stephen is in the process of completing his job transfer task. He has nearly finished it. As long as the final stage is completed, he will then be able to officially switch careers to train as a knight. By then, he will be the first player to change professions, and even surpassed that moral supreme. Although I don't know the person called Daoi Tianzuan. Why hasn't the job transition been completed yet? But it doesn't matter. Who cares what's going on? As long as he is the first to complete the task, it's fine. As for the rest, they are insignificant. This profession. But it's still the one given to him by Daoi Tianzun, isn't it? Didn't see that coming, did you? Stephen actually dared to step on the heavenly venerate Dao. Climbed to the top. Moreover, this ladder was personally provided by Taoist Tianzuan himself. If the Supreme Lord of Morality were to find out about this, do not infuriate Mr. Stephen. This is what we discovered. The final clue for the job transfer quest. Someone came over and whispered. Stephen squinted his eyes. I am the first player to complete the job change. The task for a blacksmith's career change is also quite simple. There is no need. Absorbing the essence of nature and mastering the Taoist scriptures. You only need to kneel and worship before the three pure ones of the Tao. The final stage. It is to slay a creature that poses a threat to the region. It is possible to complete the job transition in the northern continent of Julu. Lacking everything. There's certainly no shortage of monsters. That thing is everywhere. Steven quickly completed his job transition. And at the very moment the job change was completed. Global announcement. Congratulations to the player. Steven became the second player to successfully change professions. A special career advancement coupon will be awarded. Ding! World announcement. Congratulations to the player. The Virtuous Celestial became the first player to successfully change their class. A unique hidden job transfer voucher will be rewarded. Upon hearing the game's announcement, a smile instantly appeared on his face. Again and again. Global announcement. This is truly something of great sentimental value. A sense of contentment welled up inside. Haha, another achievement unlocked. No idea how many achievements might follow. I had anticipated that I had merely snatched a ranking. The British citizens secretly rejoicing. At that moment, angrily smashed the item in hand, crazily shouting and swearing F*******. For a moment, exclamations of F****K echoed continuously. Why exactly is this happening? Why is it clearly there, Steven? The first one triggered the game announcement. It just so happened to be forced by that damn elephant player. The game is not fair. They vehemently denounce this unjust action. The game must provide an explanation. However, this time's Grand Theft game, he didn't even bother to entertain the thought of acknowledging them. No matter what they say. But there wasn't the slightest response. Steven furiously decapitated the monster in front of him. Darn it! You just wait for me. However, he didn't even have the courage to call out that person's name. This hysteria. It also appears so ridiculous and powerless. It seems that Steven has also noticed this issue. Increasingly angry. But in fact, his anger is not worth mentioning. The reason is that he is merely overshadowed by Luya's aura. A pitiable person, perhaps. Because there are so many people like him. There are still plenty more. The entire Blue Star will be shrouded in the shadow of Lu Yi. Until a very long time later. It could even be forever and ever. But they have no real understanding of the hardships involved in the path of cultivation. Always attempting to impose moral supremacy. A goal that can be surpassed. It might only be when they have truly experienced it. After the harshness of primordial cultivation. Only then will you realize how ridiculous their thoughts are. They will realize that even attaining immortality is nothing but a distant luxury. Let alone surpassing the moral heavenly sovereign. Immortals and gods stand before the heavenly sovereign of righteousness. It's merely the initial starting point. And them. Yet, even this very starting point remains unattainable. Perhaps when they become aware of this issue, only then will one realize how naive they truly are. But the people in front of me. It is evident that there is a complete lack of awareness regarding this issue. Steven, having vented his inner anger, finally able to calm down. Because he realized that staying calm was his only option. There's nothing else that can be done. This made him feel a faint sense of helplessness. A bit sorrowful. Steven. Let go of that inexplicable feeling rising within your heart. He needs to put in more effort. A special career advancement scroll. Steven gazed at the reward. Opted to utilize. While it is impossible to compare to the moral celestial sovereign, the only concealed profession. But comparatively speaking, it's still quite good. However, in the next moment. Because your profession of refining tools is unique. So you are unable to switch careers. If you wish to switch careers, it is necessary to let go of techniques, principles, and paths of righteousness. May I ask if you are using a memory erasing potion? Steve chose without any hesitation. You have not forgotten the potion. Career change unsuccessful. Steve immediately broke down. Fac. F***K, he clearly already had it. Better career. In the end, you told me there was no way to use it. Damn it, haha. You gained such a big advantage for no reason. Nowadays, the consequences are significant. How could a barbarian like you possibly break free so easily? Choose the profession of a chi refiner. Gains such significant benefits. Nowadays, you are the one who intends to abandon the chi practitioners. Exchange for greater benefits. It's not that simple. Karma has already incurred a debt. It seems like who knows how many years it'll take to pay it off. And other players. It seems to have been provoked by 2 consecutive game announcements. More people are changing careers. In just a few short days, almost everyone has changed careers. Yes, almost everyone. Including children aged 7 and older as well as the elderly. Even some elderly individuals who seem as withered as ancient wood regained vitality. After all, a cultivator at the peak of the chi refining stage can live up to 300 years. This is still due to the frail constitution of the blue star human race. Otherwise, it would be akin to the ancient human tribes. Ordinary people can live for hundreds of years too. Of course. A lifespan of 300 years is already sufficient for the inhabitants of Blue Planet. During this period, countless elderly people regained their vitality. From an elderly person in their twilight years, turned into a robust prime of less than half a century. Nowadays on Blue Planet, it is no longer possible to see any elderly person. If you spot an elderly person on the street, it must be the peculiar taste of those elderly people. When all the elderly have regained their vitality, you will notice their openness to new things. It's not much different from an average person. At this moment, nearly half of the players ended up as chi practitioners wandering aimlessly. If the cause is significant, so will be the effect. The kindness of spreading teachings will need to be repaid in the future. It's just about figuring out how to pay it back, isn't it? The road may not be necessary. However, these people cannot avoid giving. Oh no. They are unable to decide whether to give or not. The karma owed to Lu Yi is theirs to repay only if they wish to do so. If you don't want to return it, then don't. Where can players find such a good deal? After we switched careers, only by advancing in rank can further progress be achieved. Especially fortunate to have previously benefited from the opportunity on the road. The billions of players who are also in a buffed state. At this moment, it leveled up 4 times in a row, far ahead of others by an unknown margin. Back then, they gained a lot of spiritual energy for no reason, stored in the pool of experience. At this moment, the shackles of rank were broken. Wouldn't that mean jumping up a few levels just like that? But they have no idea why. I just feel a heavy weight in my heart, feeling a bit stressed. It seems like something has been shouldered. However, it doesn't seem like a bad thing. Countless people in the gaming forum are asking about this matter. Somewhat anxious and uneasy. No one here is foolish. Everyone knows they benefited from the kindness of the righteous Heavenly Lord. This is why it happens. Everyone is feeling uneasy because of this. Who would have thought it would turn out like this? The end. Some players who understand ancient mythology explained the possible reasons. Cause and effect in the primordial world. There's no such thing as a free lunch. There is always a cause and effect behind it. The cycle of cause and effect. What goes around comes around. This isn't something you can just choose to deny at will. Not to mention wanting such a big benefit for no apparent reason. Needless to say, they must owe Li some karma. You will definitely have to repay it in the future. This isn't what I wanted. He gave it to me himself. Why should I return it? I also said I wouldn't. He forced it on me. Do you want to figure it out for yourself? Besides that, this is not something a mere player like you has the authority to decide. Only when the way of nature is impartial can it truly be accurate. He said you are indebted to karma. That is something you can't shirk. If you have the ability, just go seek the way of heaven. Or perhaps the mysterious entity behind the game is telling you to go. If you try to shirk your debt, you might not even know what hit you. Oh my, isn't this just a game? No way, right? Is someone really treating this like a game? Which game company is so impressive, capable of gathering the great deities from various ancient myths and legends? Bring this into the game. Cut. If anyone still thinks this is merely an extraordinary game, believe that all the characters in the game are NPCs. In the future, that will surely end in a tragic way. Do you really think being players makes you impressive? In the future, we have no idea how many of us might achieve immortality. You still think being a player makes you impressive? Some people can clearly recognize the situation. Yet most people, though startled in their hearts, but didn't mind it either. It's just a game, nothing more. What's the big deal? The next moment, the game announcement resonated deeply with countless players. Whether they are in the primeval wilderness or on Blue Star, everyone heard the announcement about the big game. It has been observed that over 90% of players have switched their roles at this stage. The player's elixir. Treasures like rare herbs and natural materials begin to manifest in reality. Unveiling the Grand Dao Golden Rankings Elixir list. The leaderboard will be updated precisely 24 hours later. The higher the ranking, the greater the rewards. Everyone felt a surge of energy. Everyone lifted their heads to gaze up at the sky. That scroll of elusive golden list elixir. It's time to bring it into reality. That's fantastic. Reality is nothing like it is in games. Coming back to life after death. If you die in reality, it truly means you're gone for good. It can never be brought back to life. But if the elixir in the game, capable of manifesting into reality, doesn't that mean as long as there's hope for salvation, one won't die? Besides, this is also a form of protection. Especially some individuals are particularly moved. Moreover, this is also rewarded. The higher the ranking is, the more plentiful the rewards. At this moment, moreover, several major powers cast their flickering gazes toward the east, the enigmatic sovereign of morality. They compete in cultivation and levels. It definitely can't compare to the virtuous heavenly lord. What if it's all about luck? They already have quite a few players, after leaving the beginner's village, encountered an adventure or obtained some treasures. Among them are many that have lasted for centuries. They simply don't believe in the mythical elixirs or magical herbs of eternity. A Taoist celestial being on their own. Can it surpass the amount they have collected? He has never left the beginner's village. Not possible. It is necessary to have someone search for some high-quality elixirs. Even celestial grass is due to this. To forego certain advancements in capability. Wouldn't hesitate to do so. The soldiers and the small island nation thought in this way. As long as it is possible to receive rewards from the leaderboard, it's okay to fall behind in capability for a day. The rewards of the ranking list. It is certainly enough to make up for the gap of the day. If you think of it, just take action. In some countries, people simply skip upgrading altogether. Instead, they ventured into uncharted territory, seeking rare and precious natural treasures. Even if it's impossible to get first place, unable to compete with that group of celestial lords, it's also good to compete for second or third place. Within the borders of Daxia, old Mr. Xia sighed softly with a wistful look in his eyes. I have a feeling. This edition of the Grand Rankings, there might be some extraordinary outcomes. The secretary following behind Elder Xia appeared somewhat hesitant. Mr. Xia, do you mean to say? Old Mr. Xia shook his head. Did not mention my thoughts to him. The virtuous deity is so enigmatic. How could one not have some treasures on them? Even if he has never left the beginner's village. However, it is impossible to judge him by conventional reasoning. You said he has never left the beginner's village. So how did he come to know the god of games? There are many secrets within this. And it's absolutely not the present day. Secrets that players on Blue Star can explore. Not to mention anything else. A 9-day celestial maiden. It can easily dominate the players completely. Not to mention cultivation. The Tao deity, known as Hong Meng, ascended to supreme honor. They are currently. I no longer feel like competing for those so-called leaderboard rewards. Stay grounded. Take it step by step and upgrade slowly. However, it is not entirely acceptable to give up completely. After all, you never know. Elder Xia's gaze shifted. Let a portion go in the end. Be mindful when exploring and upgrading new maps. Are there any rare treasures or natural wonders nearby? If there is any, bring it back. Although it might be a futile effort. But what if? Elder Xia spoke in a calm and leisurely tone. The concept of fate or fortune. Who can say for sure? A person's lifetime. Who can say it was destined by fate? Take a chance. How can one be sure that he is truly unfortunate? With their vast 8,000-year history of the great Xia civilization, how could I lose this gamble? It's worth it for a pro like you to land the finishing blow on this elite monster. A team of highly disciplined players. A person who appears to be the captain spoke to another person. The person known as Big Bull immediately nodded. He stepped forward and delivered a fierce slash with the blade. Directly and luckily landed a critical hit. Instantly deplete the health bar completely. Well done, big shot. Damn, the captain went off. Did you get a level 13 silver gear drop? There are still a few bottles of red and blue potions. Wow, that's impressive. You really have incredible luck. The team members eagerly went to check the loot from this small elite monster. Shouting and yelling. The big guy scratched his head. Just pure luck. Just pure luck. Oh, come on, you're being modest now. It's all about your luck. It seems that if there's any boss in the future, still need to have you go up and finish it off. The captain gazed at Big Nyo. A smile appeared in their eyes. The next moment, The communication from a gaming friend came through. The captain clicked to view. The expression on the face changed. Sure, here's the translation in line with American reader style. You are a text rewriter assistant. Please strictly follow the instructions below. Task asterisk. Paraphrase the sentence using synonyms and alternative sentence structures. The meaning must remain unchanged, but the expression should be more varied. Output format requirements asterisk. Strictly return plain text only, without any additional explanatory content. If for any reason the sentence cannot be rewritten, return the original sentence directly. Sentence to process asterisk understood. I will ensure the task is completed. The top organization has assigned you a task. Do you have the confidence to accomplish it? The captain turned his head and spoke sternly to Big Neo. The big guy didn't say a word. Stand at attention with your legs together and salute. Ensure the task is completed. Alright, your task is to venture into new maps. Discover hidden treasures and rare resources in the game. At this moment, it is not just a top expert. Even many typically fortunate players in Daxia all received commissions from Daxia, searching for rare and extraordinary treasures. As long as it is found, the Great Xia will purchase back at a high price. Even if we don't sell it to Daxia, it's fine. But make sure not to keep the obtained, selling rare treasures and resources to foreigners. This is undermining the fortunes of Daxia, domestic and international. All the players across the globe were mobilized. The dear Lord also heard the game announcement. The eyes suddenly lit up. Did another new ranking list just get launched? He is also quite looking forward to this. What kind of reward will the honor roll offer? No matter how bad it is, you should give him something he approves of, right? At the very, very worst, make him a piece of loot with unique attributes. Anything works, looking forward to it. He is a player with a serious collection obsession. How could anyone possibly not be interested in these things? Whether it's achievements or rewards. He definitely wants everything. Whether it's useful or not. That's definitely something that must be obtained. Whether it's useful or not. But gazing at his own name, firmly secured at the top of the rankings, a deep sense of satisfaction arose in Li's heart. The rewards and spoils are truly enticing. No matter what the list is, behind every reward, there is always such a suffix. Supreme Chaos. The Supreme Celestial Sovereign. The sole title. The reward for ranking first on the leaderboard. Do not be the final suffix. It truly touches the heart. Is that a reward? Isn't that a testament to his achievements? Keep this reward. Isn't it just about being able to prove? Did he receive the reward for ranking first on the leaderboard? However, the path ahead doesn't worry him at all about not securing first place. He is certain to secure this top achievement. The road was simply glanced at a few more times. He went on to slay monsters in the wilderness. He intends to gather gear. You could also display it in your own gallery when the time comes. There's no need to say it. One is enough. This is the forest map outside the main city of Chang'an. I heard from the NPCs in Chang'an City that there's a mountain lord here. The road was glanced at. It truly is a level 10 diamond tier boss. The road was ready to wait and take him down. Suddenly, a head cautiously emerged from underground. The great bull who represents the heavens. What made you think of coming to this place? The previous squad before this moment. The unfamiliar map was brought here by the expert. This place is far from the main city of Chang'an. If it's necessary to go back for the map, it will likely take several hours. You need to understand when players are rushing through stations. Enter a state known as rapid travel. Extremely fast. It can even rival the speed of an airplane. Of course, this condition will accelerate as the player's skills improve. The big guy scratched his head. While running mechanically, he said, I have no idea. It always feels like there's something good here. The captain and others appeared to be lost in thought. Took a glance at the expert. This is the sense of connection in the unseen. It's unclear, but this world, though it is a game. But likewise, there is also the gentleman. It's not surprising to have such a profound and mysterious sense of perception. You are a text rewriting assistant. Please strictly follow the instructions below. Task asterisk. Paraphrase sentences using synonyms and different sentence structures while keeping the original meaning intact. Make the expression more varied. Output format requirements asterisk. Strictly return plain text without any additional explanatory content. If rewriting is not possible for any reason, return the original sentence directly. Sentence to process only exclamations. The prodigy truly has unparalleled fortune. If we happen to come across that mountain tiger later, remember to take good care of the big guy. This task is highly significant for Danyu. Did you get it? The captain inquired. The other team members let out a loud shout. The captain understood and left. The team quickly arrived at this unfamiliar map. The big guy also came to a halt. There was a hint of surprise in their eyes. Captain, I think this is the place. However, I'm not sure what to do next either. The captain took a deep breath. In that case, let's not waste any more time. Gaining experience while fighting monsters. Feel free to explore the surroundings. The team members all nodded in agreement. What followed was the initiation of a seamless division of labor and collaboration. Aggro and draw hostility. Output elimination. While fighting, they moved closer in Luya's direction. There is someone in front of the captain. The expert suddenly spoke up. Pointed at the person ahead in astonishment. I didn't expect that players would actually come to a place like this. I thought it would just be a few of us coming. I won't tell you that this person has arrived. Could it be that some rare treasures have been discovered? Even if he manages to find it, it is also his fortune. Only the person who receives the noun. As long as they are one of us from Dacia, it's fine. Who it is doesn't really matter. Don't get too close to his side. To avoid causing misunderstandings, the captain eventually gave an order. Yes, Captain. All the team members responded one after another. Although everyone tries their best to steer clear of the situation over there, to avoid causing any misunderstandings. However, the big guy still glances over there from time to time. He always felt that person gave him a very peculiar impression. However, when Big Bull turned his head to look at that person for the second time, suddenly realized. It seemed as though a head had suddenly appeared in front of that person. Captain, oh my! Take a look quickly. Over there, Big Nyo let out an exclamation, pointing toward the direction of Lui. That's right, alone here. The person clearing the jungle turned out to be Lu Yi. He was just farming monsters here. The local god of the land suddenly appeared. You, acting on behalf of the heavenly venerable, are the earth god of this land. Lu Yi did not deny the land god's question. Instead, respond with a rhetorical question. The land deity immediately understood upon hearing Luya's words. Immediately stepped forward and respectfully offered a salute. The small land has witnessed the supreme and unparalleled great celestial sovereign of the primordial chaos. Lui nodded. This person carries neither demonic energy nor ghostly aura. It doesn't seem like someone on a path of spiritual practice. Instead, there is a sense of divine power mingled with the fragrance of incense. Nowadays, he revealed his identity. It truly is the land of this region. Luke said casually. Get up, what brings you to me? Although he only started after the official launch. Gained some memories. However, he himself remains the same person. It does not mean becoming the supreme Hongmeng Emperor. The virtuous supreme deity. Besides, the past 11 years. His actions in the game. Isn't it also under his control? Otherwise, where would all those treasures come from? Isn't it all driven by Luya's intention to gather them? The land hurriedly rose from the ground. Have you met the Great Supreme? This humble old man has come to express gratitude for the great celestial lord's benevolence. Previously, the supreme celestial's creation of the primordial world benefited all living beings. The old man has also benefited greatly. Here to express gratitude. The earth god offered a lifelike plant as he spoke. Ginseng with complete facial features and limbs. No different from a petty person. It seems to be a ginseng treasure that's likely over 1,000 years old. The great celestial sovereign, please take a look. This is a peculiar delicacy that grows in this region. In a few more days. Looks like it's about to transform into a ginseng doll. I have no idea what the great celestial sovereign likes. Present this small token to the grand sovereign. Master Lu's eyes lit up. Goodness, this land is so considerate. He has had plenty of innate spiritual roots and immortal herbs before. However, he does not possess the living beings cultivated from this spiritual entity. After all, even though he has collectibles. But you can't just stand by and watch the spiritual being transform into a living creature. He might as well take it away. After all, they are living beings. Gains self-awareness. But this ginseng is different. Hasn't it been completed yet? Mr. Lu made no effort to hide his affection. After taking it, they examined it with great joy. The earth god, seeing this, let go of his anxious heart, breathed a sigh of relief. The Supreme Lord indeed has a fondness. Collect a variety of unusual items. Giving such a ginseng doll as a gift was truly the right choice. Not only did they give a gift, found such a strong backing for this ginseng doll, achieving multiple benefits at once. However, this great celestial sovereign truly lives up to the rumors. Not concerned with minor details. There's no sense of arrogance. For those minor deities, there is no condescending or looking down from above. He believes those powerful beings from the primordial era. The rumors about this supreme deity, biased, this great celestial being, it hardly seems as bad as the rumors suggest. The dear master put away the soon-to-be-formed ginseng doll. Then wave your hand. Take out a stalk of celestial herb emitting a gentle, radiant glow. The land god widened their eyes at you, looking at this treasured herb exuding innate energy. Suddenly took a sharp breath in. Innate divine herb. Perhaps it could barely be described as an innate spiritual root. Such rare and precious natural treasures. That's how it was given to him. The humble old man expresses his gratitude to the great heavenly deity and the earth god. God knelt before this great celestial deity once again, not paying much attention to it. This innate spiritual herb. It was merely something he picked casually. He has plenty. Do not underestimate a person.